That is Cape Spear, the oldest working lighthouse in Canada. And for the first time since 1972, the Brier is back on the rock. You want Eastern Canada? You got it. We're in Canada's most easterly city, St. John's, Newfoundland, Labrador. All the action for this year's Brier at the Mile 1 Center. Coming inside the building, glad you're watching our coverage. Brian Mudryk, Kathy Gauthier, and yesterday, Kathy, maybe the best opening ceremonies we've ever seen at a Tim Hortons Brier. Brad Gushue was in the house. It was electric. And the 4 playoff teams from last year in Ottawa, they are back. They had a great opening day.
Well, they really did, and I do think that speaks volumes to the fact that those are teams that put aside life and everything to get to the Olympic trials. They will all be a factor this week.
One of those playoff teams last year, obviously, Team Canada. Kevin Cooey, he was taking on the 2006 Brier champ, Team Quebec, and Jean-Michel Menard, and both teams were still getting accustomed to the ice early in this first draw.
Well, they were, and Quebec is always very tenacious, but it was this great up-weight ability by Kevin Cooey to make this thin double really wrap the game.
So in the first draw for both these teams, lovely double there to run Jean-Michel out of rocks in 10, and the defending champs pick up a win. Meantime, Jamie Murphy, Team Nova Scotia, they had to come through the pre-competition. They advanced to the Brier draw, and he kept it rolling in an extra end against Ontario and Glenn Howard. Glenn making his 17th appearance at the Brier.
Well, for Jamie Murphy, I think that at this point he probably felt like it was the 17th game with the pre-relegation, but look at the shot he makes to win, making a statement early.
Holy smokes, that is great draw weight, awesome touch. And in his 5th game already coming through the pre-competition, he's got a win on the board. So we'll update your scores from last night. Draw 2, Nova Scotia, a 6-5 win, same score for New Brunswick, knocking off Jamie Cooey and the Northwest Territories. So it was a great start for the Eastern teams, that's for sure. A lot of wins, including Newfoundland, Labrador, and Brad Gushue. And we talk about the playoff teams from last year in Ottawa, Jacobs, Kevin Cooey, McEwen, and Gushue. They all picked up a win. Kathy, it was such an emotional opening ceremonies yesterday. You had Jack McDuff, who's suffering from MS, wheeled in his wheelchair, made the trip from Moncton, the last team to win a Brier from Newfoundland, Labrador. That was way back in 1976. You saw Gushue, he was emotional. How did he respond to the moment? How about curling 100%?
Well, and most importantly, I think beyond that 100% is after that emotion, we have worried about Brad maybe feeling the 7,000 people on his shoulder here this week. We actually saw some smiles. He couldn't help it with the ovation that he got, and he played looser, and that is the key.
Mike McEwen, Team Manitoba, back at the Brier for a 2nd consecutive year. They lost that bronze medal last year. Kathy, in December, this team, after 10 years, they nearly folded. They nearly broke up. They had that meeting. They stayed together. Have you seen a different team?
Well, we for sure have. That BJ-Mike combination is the key on this team. It is a more positive conversation. It is a softer BJ Neufeld that we see out there, whether that's the birth of his daughter or that conversation, I don't know, but they look so much better, like a first-year team over a 10th-year team.
2 playoff teams from last year, Manitoba, Newfoundland, Labrador, next on TSN.
Brad's team could definitely feed off a ton of energy from the building, but there's going to be a lot of distractions too, and a bit of extra added pressure. You know, if anybody can do it, I think Team Gushue is well experienced and prepared for something like this.
The fans can certainly make it an advantage. You know, I always found the toughest game at the Brier was one when you had to play the home team, because you knew that some of your misses were going to be cheered, and even when you made a great shot, it wasn't going to get the applause that you would normally get. So I certainly hope that all the teams this week find it a challenge playing against us.
The 2017 Tim Hortons Brier is brought to you by Tim Hortons, official coffee of Curling Canada. The 2017 Tim Hortons Brier is brought to you by Ford of Canada, proud partner with Curling Canada for 22 years. By World Financial Group, helping Canadians have better financial futures. And by Cashmere Bathroom Tissue. Nothing feels like cashmere.
It is the 88th edition of the Canadian Men's Curling Championship, and we got a great draw 3. Our feature game, Manitoba, Newfoundland, Labrador. On sheet B, you got BC And Johnny Moe taking on Glenn Howard and Team Ontario, both those teams looking for win number 1. Team Canada, Northern Ontario. That's a rematch of that great game, that semifinal last year in Ottawa. And on sheet D, it is Alberta and Saskatchewan. Adam Casey now representing Saskatchewan out in the prairies from PEI. It is time to meet the teams. It's brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
Hi, I'm Skip Mike McEwen of Team Manitoba. Our lead is Denny Neufeld. Our second, Matt Wozniak. Third, BJ Neufeld. And we play out of the Fort Rouge Curling Club in Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Hi, I'm Brad Gushue, skip of Team Newfoundland Labrador. Our lead is Jeff Walker. Our second is Brett Gallant. Our third is Mark Nichols. And we curl out of the Ballyhaley Country Club and Remax Center in St. John's.
Rock colors this morning, it'll be Brad Gushue, Newfoundland Labrador, throwing the Yellowstones, Mike McEwen, Team Manitoba, the Redstones. And this Mile 1 Center, Kathy, holds about nearly 7,000 people, and it is a full day this morning. The crowds have come for this young man right here, Brad Gushue and company. It was Team Manitoba winning the draw to the button, so it will be Jeff Walker starting things off, lead stones here for Newfoundland and Labrador. And one thing is for sure, Kathy, each and every time that this Brad Gushue team is on the ice, it will be electric in the building. We could hear the rumbling in the broadcast booth when they were introduced coming into the building this morning. It has been a lot of fun so far in St. John's.
Well, it is exceptional. It's just not for these two teams. Everyone out here benefits. I do not recall ever in my playing career or in my broadcasting career to see this many people first thing in the morning, and it just energizes everyone.
Denny Neufeld leads stones here for Team Manitoba.
A little wide right now, boys.
Line's good.
Is that the curl at all? Yes.
Just a touch higher. Right here.
Middle of the cup.
Well, both teams going to go after each other early. It will be interesting to watch what the ice allows this morning. We saw straighter conditions last night than we had seen in the afternoon, and this morning is a little bit of an unknown.
The center's good.
Yeah.
Weight's good.
Line's a little tighter.
Give it a few then. Give it a few. If it gets in
Line's a
narrow,
little
might be
tight.
a little slower.
Line's nice.
Keep it going, Mark. I think we're over.
Okay, let's go.
Stay
We're
down.
over curling.
Stay
We're
down.
over curling.
It's well over.
Looking for a very long guard.
I was hoping to get it on this side.
Yeah, I know. Really, Colonel.
Okay.
I don't mind that.
Kathy this morning, pretty cool experience for this team. Mile 1 Center, and listen to the crowd. And as you probably know at home, this is a morning draw. It's, 11 after 10 here, local time in St. John's. We're just approaching, I guess, 6 a.m. out in Vancouver and Victoria. So if you're up with us, good morning.
Hello.
Line's good.
Pushing T right now.
Room.
Whoa,
good.
room,
Off.
Room!
T is way too much.
It's close. It's top 8. Top 4, top 8.
That's 14 and a half between the Hogs to give you a sense of the speed. It was not that fast last night, closer to 14, so that shows conditions will be crisper in the morning, as they often are. But this also is a very cold building, and they will try to maintain the conditions. For Jamie Barassa and his ice crew, the advantage they have here is because it's packed in the morning, they don't have to wonder what it will be like as the crowds build. It's the same every draw.
I had a good chat with Jamie yesterday, just before the opening ceremonies, and we wish him a speedy recovery. Sadly, he slipped on ice of all things, not at work, but outside, and he broke his legs, so he's in a wheelchair, but he's still smiling. And he said to add to that, Kathy, that they have all the bells and whistles in the building, that it's a great facility. They have the air conditioning, the dehumidification as well is working. And you said it, he doesn't have to worry about a morning draw having, less of a crowd as the nighttime draw, and it's that consistency that's really good for him. So he says, so far so good. And a lot of the players did mention there is less curl than the Fort Hot shots and from the practices, but we'll see how that progresses throughout the week.
Yep. Whoa. Clean. Clean. Good.
Well, and part of this whole game is charting the ice early, but one of the keys we talked about earlier for Newfoundland and Labrador is a little bit of patience while you're learning the ice. And for Brad Gushue, we talk about the pressure he's going to have all week for this province that wants him to win so bad. Smile, enjoy. That will make you relax and execute that much better. Plus, it's also an experience you never want to forget.
I ran into Park Nichols at breakfast and Brett Gallant, who's throwing right now, and I said, did your skip peak too early maybe? 100% of that first game, and he laughed. He said, is that going to be your keys to the game? Put it on the Jumbotron. I'll be sure to point it out to Brad.
It's coming down. It needs a curl, guys.
It's coming down.
Got a curl.
So they were certainly loose at practice this morning, Kathy, and at breakfast as well.
Tap it, rock. Close.
Mark's got a great sense of humor.
Well, Manitoba has last rock, and will have to be very careful on going too hard in this first end. And that is one of the keys for Mike and the team. Continue to learn the ice. What they saw yesterday afternoon was very different. Go to school and learn with every draw, and get an early jump. That not only takes the crowd out of it a little bit, get that Gushue guy off his perfect game, and then see what happens.
Keys to the game brought to you by World Financial Group, helping Canadians have better financial futures.
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah.
Hard beach, hard beach, hard beach, hard.
Good shot. Real good. We were joking too, Kathy, that obviously it's a very pro Brad Gushue building, and every time we'd look over and see the people that are judging the score sheeting, they'd be up clapping their hands after a shot.
The scorers beside us were all clapping.
There's some home ice advantage possibly going on here, but it's honestly, it's just been such an awesome experience. I point out, the only thing I can recall, Kathy, is when we worked together at the Vancouver Olympics, and it didn't matter what time, 9 a.m. draw, and the building was just buzzing, and you just get that excitement here, not only in the building, but even right around the community in St. John's. They're just so proud to have this event here.
Trying to run this back now.
Close.
That's a pretty good outcome. He got rid of one of those stones. There's that long guard still out there to contend with. That did not move at all. His up-weight ability and very precise throwing skills makes it very easy for Brad Gushue to ice.
Weight's good. Up. Easy. Hard. Whoa. 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 Get. Hard. Hard to stick. Okay.
Interesting there if they'll discuss it, Kathy, maybe a rock that's a cutter or just a path that just took off.
Well, I think that it's just that little bit of down weight, and Mike's taking a look over the rock to make sure that he notes the number in his head in case there is that kind of reaction again.
Slow to start practice today, though. I didn't find it as slow to start today as I did yesterday.
Okay.
You think that?
Yeah, I don't mind that. I just want
to make sure we kill it.
to get it out. Yeah.
Stay close, Jeff.
Yeah.
Talking numbers, you heard Brett Gallant say that he did not find it as slow as yesterday. That the numbers will bear that out.
Hey.
Heavier.
Whoa.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Just pass the hack.
Weight's good.
Whoa. Make sure Go ahead.
We got lots of weight.
Going.
We have
Weight's
lots
fine.
of weight.
Weight's good.
Lots of weight.
Whoa. Stay right in the middle.
Great job, man. Good. Perfect weight. Not bad. Get rid of it, because Mark's
good.
Talk about the crowd here, Kathy, and some of the comments after from Brad Gushue. He'd said, man, I'd walk in and get a standing ovation. I'd tie my shoe and I got applause. I'd throw a high guard and the crowd went nuts. He's like, I'm just not used to this, but I'm sure he can get used to it. It's a pretty special feeling.
Yep. Whoa. Yeah.
Hard.
Whoa.
Looking for the roll under the guard.
Hard. Nice shot.
shot, PJ.
Beauty.
And that is nicely behind cover.
Get rid of that 5.
I'll take that. Absolutely. Yeah.
Nice shot, PJ. Boys.
If
Did you hear that comment, Kathy? Get rid of that 5. So I think they're still talking about that 1 stone.
Yeah, I don't mind opening it up a little bit. Yep.
16 and a
Brad.
half on Denny's.
What did Denny's guards do?
It curled hard.
Yeah, so
Be okay. Is that enough ice, guys?
I think
Denny's
it is,
went
yeah.
hard to the boards.
top
I
4
know.
depth, guys.
That looks good to me.
What do we think for speed?
Denny's speed was pretty good. I got like 16.4 on it.
I
I think you're looking at about
4 to 6 feet
4
more?
to 6 feet,
Yeah.
yeah, then the
Okay.
draw.
Stay close to it because I think once it goes, it'll go hard. Yeah. You think that's
4 to 6 feet, then the draw is referring to the draw that he would have thrown to the button. It was Brad for the Newfoundland Labrador team that threw that, so letting him know he needs to throw that little bit extra.
heavy. Back 8. Back 12. Looks hard.
Whoa!
Back 8. No.
Back 8 at least.
No.
Back 8.
No line.
Line's good.
You have no line.
Weight's not good though.
Through.
Looked like he whipped it.
You did.
Sit.
He slid hard and out of it.
Yeah, I just had it.
So the door open here now for Manitoba to try and score an early 2 and even a 3, a possibility now.
Get strong.
Just try and freeze it real good. Makes it really hard to get rid of both.
Let's do it.
You get speed.
Yeah, it'd be up to speed.
You might be wondering why he's not going to be playing this stone, and the reason for that is if you go on this side, first of all, that guard is so long you can get to it. The other problem is if you're just a little bit out here, you allow your opponent to play the hit and roll under, and then that creates problem. They know the path. They're going to force the play out into the wings.
He was just way heavy. Back 12 weight.
It does take its sweet time.
It
though.
does, you're right.
So just be mindful of that.
So top 12 copy. Speed's good here, Mike.
Last year, Kathy, these teams had a very close game in round robin play. It was a
all
5-4
there.
final for Brad Gushue and an extra end.
Weight's good.
Room.
Top
Room.
8.
Room, Danny.
Top 12.
Line's good. Hard line.
Hard line.
Hard line, Danny.
Hard line, guys.
Hard.
Skip Stone's here in 1.
Whoa.
Trying to save this one for Mike McEwen, but he'll spill on his guard out front.
Not bad.
They got 15-4 on that.
Not gonna be wide, no.
And there you see it was actually draw 1 where they met. There's that score in 11 ends, and both these teams did make the playoffs. 9-2 for Gushue, Manitoba 8-3. McEwen lost that bronze medal game to Brad Jacobs, who found the podium. And you know the story with Newfoundland Labrador. Made it all the way to that final, but it was Team Canada and Kevin Cooey winning the title in Ottawa.
6 feet less. Yeah.
Still that
We
much?
thought that
Well,
Brier Field Kathy might have been the best ever, and 1 year later, this one is real good as well.
I do. I think that ice is good.
Okay.
Well, interesting comments too, Brad, as he sat in the hack, feeling that he didn't have to throw that much less because he's in a spot that goes on the center line, the least traveled spot in the entire ice in the pregame throws.
So now trying to take advantage of that miss from Mike McEwen. Big scrub for line, they get it by, the crowd urging them on as well, and they'll drag it in there for shot stone here in the first end. That'll wake you up on a Sunday morning, that energy from this crowd here at mile 1.
They brushed that stone so well.
Or 2 more curl.
I don't know how much more.
I know. We didn't miss a guard by much.
That might be minimum for firm. Might need a hair more ice.
Trying to run the outside
Everything's
stone.
moving, boys.
Straight back.
A little bit more than
To
yesterday.
get my eyes adjusted again, I saw the Tim Hortons Cup there, and I didn't see the rock they were looking to run by. And it's right there.
Thinking that's a lot of ice.
Yeah. I was actually.
Yes, that's why I do what I do. And
there it is. Okay.
You do what you do.
It's funny, though, in mentioning that, a lot of the players you see will kick those stones by accident because they do kind of blend in there nicely.
Yep.
Hard.
Whoa, whoa,
So let's see if Mike McEwen now can answer his final stone here in one. Needs the run back to pick that yellow out. He'll drive it by. And listen to that crowd. It wasn't looking good early for Brad Gushue, but a lovely draw gets him out of trouble. He's got a 1-0 lead. Welcome back to St. John's and Mile 1 Center. Update time for you, Ontario and BC. There you see John Morris. He's the skip of this team, but the guy throws the 4 stones is that man, Jim Cotter, and he's got a tough run back here, Kathy, to try score.
Well, he actually has to make a double run back, running the yellow onto his own at the top of the 12-foot to promote it to the 2 that are on the lid to try to get rid of that yellow Ontario stone.
And the angle's just not there for Jim Cotter, so it's a steal of 1 for Glenn Howard. They're up 1-0. That BC team together, though, so much success over the years. Second at a Brier, second at the Olympic trials. And speaking of the team that won those trials, it is Brad Jacobs, Northern Ontario, and his final stone to come against Team Canada. He's got a really tough port to get through here, Kathy.
Well, he really does. You know, I'm right behind that sheet, and the distance between the 2 stones looks bigger than it is if you take the stone in the house and put it beside the guard, but trying to go through and remove that stone for 2.
Ryan Harned hard to try and get it to curl up, find that port, and they'll rub. And where does the shooter go? That's got to slow down in time.
Well, and look at what he did as he ticked that stone over, and so it's not only a steal of 1, it's a steal of 2.
So Team Canada, Kevin Cooey, a 2-0 advantage. If there's a silver lining for Brad Jacobs and company, though, they had an awful start to their game yesterday, but found their form and went on to win their opener. In our feature matchup, the run back from Mike McEwen, not to be. The angles were just off, so a steal of 1 for Brad Gushue, Newfoundland and Labrador, and you could argue another key to the game, Kathy, for this Mike McEwen team is take the crowd out of it early, and some great sweeping by the front end of Gushue's team to drag his stone in there, and instead of what could have been a 2 or a 3, ended up in a steal of 1.
That's what we talked about in the keys, the early jump. It not only takes the crowd out of it, but for Mike, you and I were talking at the break, it's not only that you miss, but then this crowd erupts to remind you that you missed. It's a mental toughness game out here when you are playing the host team.
Okay, then. Zach? I just didn't want to sit so we could get both under, right?
Yeah. Good board. Solid board? Yeah.
Hear that? Solid board.
Solid. Yeah.
Kathy, I know we talked about it off the top of the show, but I just find this Manitoba team fascinating and interesting dynamic. You don't see teams together with this new Olympic cycle for 10 years, and that was the case for this Mike McEwen team. They had that meeting around December, and as Mike said, they basically had to reset the clock during that meeting. He finds the team is really enjoying the game again, and his one quote he said in his sit-down interview, it's like a marriage. You have to put the work into it. They were neglecting that part of the team dynamics. You've known this team for a very long time. What are some of the differences that you've really stood out to you?
Well, I think that, you know, is typical of a marriage or even your and my relationship. The longer you are with somebody, the less you have a filter. You start to say things without thinking about the impact of how you are saying stuff and what you are saying. When you're a new team getting together, everyone is on their best behavior, is very positive. And as you stay together longer, you start, you know, saying things like, well, you always dump your intern. Why would you throw that? So it's simple things about somebody reminding them about the incredible talent on this team and wanting to take advantage of it with the Olympic trials being so close on the horizon. But you have to buy into that and park the past and start again. And they have been able to do just that.
That's more than me, so it should be good. 1.5.
Some great games on the ice this morning. As our Brier coverage continues, we'll update you now on Alberta and Saskatchewan. It is Adam Casey. Not sure if he shot stone, but he's got one to come here to try score against Team Alberta and Brendan Botcher.
Well, Adam's had that upweight ability, but holy Dinah.
Wow, there it goes, squirts it out. And you got 3 early on for Adam Casey.
Great shot. He is very comfortable with a lot of rocks in play. Not a very common Saskatchewan style, but he loves the rocks. He loves the big shot.
And the only game in our draw so far this morning that didn't have a steal in the first end, so nice job from the former skip from PEI. Now representing Saskatchewan, up 3-0.
It's kind of where I thought it was. 3/4.
Well, that long guard thrown by Newfoundland and Labrador is a real big problem for Mike McEwen. Not only does it protect the shot stone, but it's pretty long. Hard to run those in. So this is the attempted double clear.
Straight, eh?
Okay.
Same place is pretty good, Mark. What's that? Same place is pretty good.
Slide's nice. It's right where you thought it was, eh? So
It is, yeah. Jeff thought it was further.
It's funny,
so
Kathy,
like,
still with the Manitoba theme.
Yeah.
It's such a long week for these players, and we've seen Mike McEwen and his team at
real similar.
Canada Cups and Grand Slams and Skins games, and they're obviously one of the best teams in the world, but it was their first Brier last year, and they admitted they were exhausted by the end of the week in Ottawa, and when it mattered the most and they get to those must-win games and trying to make the podium, they were just gassed. They admitted they just really didn't have a lot left in the tank, and it's funny how even though you have this team with all that experience, 1 year later, just the things you've learned to get better and improve, and I'm sure there's a few distractions here in St. John's. We're about a stone's throw away from the famous George Street with all the pubs and the bars, and you have the patch connected right to the building and fans wanting a piece of you and autographs and photos, so it's a lot to deal with.
It's not only that, it is the emotional ties that come with this event that is not replicated in anything else that you play in. Kate Cameron commented on the very same thing at her first Scotties a couple of weeks ago, just had no idea about the mental, emotional exhaustion.
All right. And again, BJ able to remove that stone, but can't get a bunch of rocks going there with a run back.
Did you get on the split there, just
28.
We heard a little bit of talk last end about BJ's number 5 stone, feeling it was very different. They did hand it down throughout the order and give it to somebody else. It has already been thrown. That is about reading rocks as you go. The teams all had a little bit of time on each of the sheets earlier before the event actually starts, but you don't have a ton of time. The ice conditions are different, and you don't always pick up those discrepancies until you start to play those in-between weights, those bumpers and hacks as he did. And so quickly getting rid of that stone.
one in the house. First we can.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta hit it.
Not much high though.
It's a little high.
Yeah.
Run back double, hit on the outside of the center line.
Okay, Beach.
Drive it back onto the stone in the 4-foot, which will then go off the stone in the edge of the 12.
That easy, hey, Kath?
Well.
Yep.
Close. Whoa.
Yeah.
Hard, Danny.
Let's see what BJ Newfield's got here.
Hard.
And he'll stick it, but it does come now into the open a bit between those two red stones.
Okay.
Oh, so.
He's probably drawing, right?
Not if we get it right here.
You don't think?
Well, if he does, then we can bump or follow him down or come off ours.
Okay.
Yeah. There.
Okay.
Just higher than the other one, yep.
Just a piece of the 4.
How far? Just even with ours or a little higher. What do you think it's going to do here? Mike's were curling pretty good, eh?
I saw their draws. They were taking edge 8, but he kind of throws it with that back.
Yeah.
So I think that's perfect.
Okay. Yeah. What do you think speed, Brett? Same?
I think similar speed to what you gave us last time. If you want to give us a foot or two more,
Yeah, that's
that's good too. Weight's good.
Top button.
Clean it.
Close. Lots
We
of
only
room,
want
guys.
to bite the
Room.
I think it's good.
Line's good.
Weight's good. Top 8.
Line's good.
A great opportunity here in 2 to put a lot of pressure on Mike McEwen.
Room.
Weight's good.
Line's good.
Wait.
Half the 4 foot. Gotta go, guys. Looks right. Line's perfect. Go, guys. Come on. Hard.
Sorry, I thought it was there.
And you get the roll.
Sorry,
Because,
guys. You're good.
yeah, I mean, if you're going to draw, you have to be here, but then that run back's not super difficult.
I think we just make this roll.
I don't know. Do you
think so.
Like, do you even get that second one on the way by?
Well, you can throw
it hard with
you
the
can throw
out
either
turn.
one.
I think it's hard to make with the in-turn. I think you got to throw the out, and you got to throw firm.
He'll turn straighter. Don't have to throw it that hard, I don't think.
Well, the guard though, Beach. You could probably throw a firm normal.
Okay. See what it looks like at the other end too.
Yeah.
Feel like you throw maybe a little less.
Okay.
I was liking the out turn. The challenge is that guard that is on the Tim Hortons Cup on the right-hand side as you look at it.
Do you want a certain rock for draws, Mike? Or?
Yeah, the 7.
Okay.
What do you think? I could probably throw normal. I just don't want it finishing a lot at the end, right?
Firm normal is probably the best.
Yeah, how's that ice look? I'm not even, it's a bit of a guess, but.
Well, the peels are running straight, but
should
we're
be,
putting them back.
Should be pretty straight, yeah. We should be able to hold it.
Should be close.
Should be good.
Here you go, Mikey.
So the out-turn hit and roll here for Mike McEwen in 2.
Very close. Yep.
Hard dance.
Whoa.
Oh.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
It's been one of these straighter spots. Can he flip inside? A little bit of a roll behind cover. He'll
Shot.
bite a bit of the 4. And part of it's covered up for Shot Stone here in 2.
Good throw.
If he doesn't nut it, we might have this for 2.
Good shot, Mike.
The back weight on the yellow.
So straight.
Well, they get that finish just at the end. You'll see that little bit of roll by Denny, brushing it to the inside, enough that there's very little for Brad Gushue to even consider with the out turn.
Yeah, as long as our shooter's going to come out here and might give him the in-off double.
You got any of that? You got about an 8.
Do you like this with like a board, or do you like a tap?
You got a 3rd on the yellow.
It's a double there for him.
Yeah, you can't do that. You just got to. What's that?
Is a double there for him if we were to open
If we
it up?
miss? Well, if we miss this way, we're okay.
Yeah.
If we miss this way, we're not good.
Kathy, while they chat things over, right next door, we'll check in on Sheet B, BC, Ontario. It is Jim Cotter throwing the final stones for this BC squad. And he has a hit for 1.
And it does look like he is facing 3. There is a biter on the outside that very much does look from our overhead cameras that it is on. So important for Jim to stick.
Yeah. Stay on it, Ty. Stay on it. Stay on it.
Ty Griffith, Rick Swatsky, the front end for this team. And a nice brush there as Jim Cotter hits it on the nose for a single. So they're tied up at 1 after 2.
Yeah.
They're a team, actually, Kathy, that flew into Ottawa a few days early to just get adjusted to the time change and get closer to Eastern Canada, and worked with Earl Morris throwing stones and had a really good practice before getting out here to St. John's.
Probably need T-line weight on its own to tap it into half the 4.
Tapping the Yellowstone on the center line up.
You're not bouncing, so.
That's what you can see from the hack.
Yeah.
Far too tight to play that angle, yellow-red sideways.
Whoa. Back 4.
Lots of weight. Back 8. Back 12.
Whoa. Whoa, then.
Back 8.
Whoa. Line's good. Back 8.
Close, Jeff.
Whoa.
Back 12. Close.
Back 8.
Whoa. Back 4.
Close. Back 8.
Back 4.
Whoa.
Whoa. Curl.
Whoa, don't want to go on that one. Don't want to.
Tap it up, and it will be Shot Stone, touching that Tim Hortons button.
It's pretty good. He created a lot of separation between the 2 yellow stones, making that double not only extremely risky for Mike, but very difficult as well.
You always talk about the extra man in football, Kathy. I think we got the 5th man is
All
the
the
crowd
Seahawk
here.
fans came here for the 11th
No
man.
kidding, right? It's unbelievable.
Or it's this. That's hard.
Thinks you can make it with control for 2.
I think you can get a little bit of curl. Like, you need a little bit of curl here.
Well, with control weight, it'll curl. I don't have to throw control. I can throw bumper.
Bumper, this won't, I don't think will go far enough for 2. But that's probably not a big deal.
A solid bump. That's not a big deal.
Yeah,
Just need to
got to score 1 here.
So the shot that was rejected by Newfoundland and Labrador, the pick-out stone,
Somewhere in this area.
is now going to be attempted by Mike.
We're probably in this area. Okay, like a solid bump.
Okay. What do you think's easier, Kathy? This shot here, or could you just try the double on the stone that Brad just threw and get your single that way as well?
Well, here's why they're not playing that, Brian, because if you hit it on the outside and you jam it there, you wind up removing your own stone and giving up 3. And so it is the risk and reward shot. This is very tough. You heard BJ say that you may not have enough weight with bumper to tap that Yellowstone out for 2, but the key here for the McEwen team is to score.
How much weight?
It's a solid bump.
Okay.
These two skips have a history too, Kathy. Back in 2001, they met in the Canadian Junior Final, and it was Brad Gushue winning, and that was actually in St. Catharines where we just were for the Scotties.
Green hit. Lots of weight.
And both have become outstanding skips here on the
Lots of weight.
men's circuit. Final stone here for Mike McEwen now, trying to score here in 2.
Matt. Hard Matt.
Matt to get it to curl.
Hard Matt.
Go, Bump the yellow far enough. And then he's safe for 2.
That is a very nice curling shot.
Precision for Manitoba as Mark Nichols looks it over. It could be 2 here for Mike McEwen. And it is as he kicks it away. Some nice shot making early here in St. John's on a Sunday morning. McEwen leads here in the Tim Hortons Brier. They are certainly 2 of the Brier favorites this year, and we'll update you. Team Canada, Kevin Cooey taking on Brad Jacobs and Northern Ontario. And final stone here for Brad. He has a chance to answer back with a pair in the second.
Well, and you saw that the second shot stone is in the 12-foot, so for Brad Jacobs needs to find a little bit better than that. A bite of the 8-foot will do for his pair and the tie.
Go ahead. Looks like it's curling. Go ahead.
Brad Jacobs, your Ford Hot Shots winner this year.
Come on.
And needing a good shot here to try answer back in this game and tie up the defending champs, and the weight is lovely. So 2 on the board there in a 2-2 tie after 2 ends. As for our feature game this morning, Mike McEwen with just a brilliant shot in the second to pick up a pair, Kathy.
Well, I think that what made it also so special was that he missed both of them in the first, and you're playing against Brad and this huge crowd. So he makes the inside roll on his first one, and then Brad Gushue makes a great second shot to really force Mike out into the wings in a little bit of uncharted territory. Get really tight to a guard with finesse weight. And it's not only that he touches the stone, the single was one thing, but to roll that shooter and get the pair, pretty significant shot.
The weight was perfect. The key shot brought to you by Scotty's, the tissue for any issue, and a little whoop at the end of that shot. So some nice emotion there from Mike McEwen. Always in tough when you're taking on the hometown favorites in Brad Gushue. So it is a 2-1 Manitoba lead with play underway here in the third end. Newfoundland Labrador throwing the Yellowstones with hammer here in 3.
Okay, good shot.
Good shot.
Jeff.
And that little celebration by Mike was not only for the shot made, but it's a little bit of a message, I think, to the crowd that, you know, you're not going to intimidate me. I got this.
Close. Yeah. Top 8.
Easy, Danny.
Yeah. I think we could go for a little bit for weight.
No, can't for line.
Weight's
Out
good.
wider.
Stay close to this, BJ.
Out wider.
No, what's there, Dan?
A lot of room. It's coming now.
Go, Beach, go.
Only if you have to. Our line's
there.
not good.
It's there. It's there.
Yeah, go. There it goes. Good.
Shot.
My feet are getting better, aren't they?
Yeah. On the nose.
Brendan Botcher is the youngest skip in the field this year. It's an all-rookie team. out of Alberta, and they're taking on Team Saskatchewan this morning over on Sheet D. Final stone to come from the young man, and we watched him, Kathy, last night. He was impressive for a number of reasons, one including he had to take on Brad Gushue and this crowd in his first ever Brier game.
And he made a lot of very nice touch shots, was not panicky in his voice, very patient. If he was going to miss, he was going to miss. It wasn't because you felt that he was intimidated. But he is in tough after that great shot by Adam Casey. Already down 3, needs the lid.
As Thiessen and Martin trying to drag it in there for shot stone. It is close.
Yeah.
But not quite enough as they confirm it is a yellow. So a steal of 1 for Adam Casey and Team Saskatchewan.
Get low on it.
So now a 4-0 advantage for the team from the Prairies. They're at the Highland Curling Club in Regina. As Adam Casey makes the move out west.
Intern freeze any good?
Come back.
To the back?
You didn't hear that.
Looking at
Probably
angles.
just leave this.
Yeah, just.
He probably did hear you.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, that tap by Gushue not only unlocked the stones and gave him shot, but the angles are no longer as good for the yellow-red combo to drag onto the shot stone. And that is why Matt is playing to go around and try to come down to the face of the shot stone. And at a minimum, it also takes away the intern side for Brad Gushue.
Wait
Line's
there.
good. Line's good. Line's good. Line's good.
Hair heavy. Whoa, then.
Line's
Hair
good.
heavy.
Whoa. We're bumping.
Whoa,
foot.
Denny, stay with that.
Just block it.
Denny.
Line's
Coming
perfect.
down. It's coming down. Still there. Still small bump.
Whoa. Denny, it's got to curl a little bit. If you can.
Leave it a little high.
And right to the face. And that is shot stone for Team Manitoba.
Like playing this. How hard?
I think he's thinking easy to stick it.
Yeah, I think probably so. Like solid board. Yeah. Like keeping the shooter. That's staying there, but
Similar weight to what I threw a couple ends ago, eh?
yeah, that was. Yeah,
That was on the solid side, a solid board.
One of the storylines coming in, Kathy, was the health of Brad Gushue. This great skip, and he had the hip issues, didn't need surgery, but he needed a lot of rehab, and he admitted that there was a few times he worried that maybe he wouldn't be healthy enough to play in this event, but he worked really hard, and full credit to Nichols and Gallant and Walker, who were one of the best teams in the world while Brad was still getting better and away from this team, as that tap will move things around.
okay. Not bad.
And then he came back, and they had success as well. They made a semifinal of the Boost National. They won another event, a Grand Slam event as well, and we talked about his 100% at the Brier. He curled 100% in that game as well, Kathy, so really came back strong. But he does have physio and massage therapy here in St. John's, just in case he needs it.
That's good.
Yep. Hair down.
Whoa, whoa.
Yep. Hair down, Mike.
Yeah.
Hard, Denny. Go.
Hard.
Come on, Denny.
Hard. Really gotta go. Really gotta go. Not gonna kill it, but.
Well, the call was the double, moves them around.
Okay.
We mentioned his 100% game yesterday to open up the Brier here in his home city. So this is 100% Brier games by skip since 1985 and the minimum 14 shots. And look at the names on that list. Burtnick, Madaha, Howard, Stoughton. I mean, the list goes on. And 4 of those teams you see actually went on to win the Brier.
Well, we say minimum shot, 14 shots, because there was a time when you could just have a 2-end game and maybe score 100%, but you were only on the ice for maybe 4 rocks. And as you say, some great names, and you would expect nothing else. If you are shooting 100% as a skip, well, there's not all easy shots in that makeup. There's no game that is super easy, and especially now that we have the free guard zone, the degree of difficulty increases so much more so than when it was a wide open game sometimes.
Mr. Gushue at 75% so far this morning.
Get in there.
And that'll tap the red over for shot stone for Newfoundland Labrador.
Good shot, Mark.
Good try.
I think not getting rid of it might be better. Good.
Well, he gets that roll in, and now their own red stone is a bit of a concern.
Else that's great. That's probably the best shot.
I think so.
With
Gets it in.
Firm hack?
yeah, I was thinking bump.
Yeah, so I hit it a little high. It's pretty good.
Right.
Hitting it a little high and squirting this out a bit would be good.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Squirt that one out.
Yeah, you probably need bump.
Squirt the one you're hitting.
No, like the one that's directly behind our guard.
Yeah.
Squirt that out a bit.
Here's the squirt they're talking about. They want to move that stone to here, and in the process, get that stone out of there. So it's about achieving 2 objectives. And the squirt out advantage on the right side, as you were just looking at it, is it's something that Manitoba can use to run back, to tap back, and it's a problem for the Gushue team.
Hard! Really hard, Danny.
Hard, Danny! Well, no. Okay, it's fun.
You're saying it's still terrible for us.
Yeah, I know the angles aren't great yet.
Still not good for
Keep
us.
Canada, Northern Ontario. There was a blank in 3, so they're in the 4th end. Kevin Cooey still with hammer.
Is it there?
Yeah, but you could end up taking ours, I think.
What's that? Taking this? You're never taking that, are you?
Is it just, is it, if you do take it, do you still make it?
I think it's almost have to play it though, don't we? The only other option is to bump this guy in here.
No, what I'm thinking is you make the hit and roll.
Yeah.
Stuff it in there, but then if you stuff it in there and he freezes, it's going nowhere.
What about playing it like this?
Oh, yeah.
Could lose all of.
But I don't think this one's going to go. I think that'll stay on that angle.
It'd be.
It's great, but if you
leave this out there.
Yeah, well, even if we get it in here, and it's these rocks are really scary to me.
Yeah, you got to do something with this.
I think we got to make a play on this. Either we play this. I think you're losing the shooter, or we play it this way. I think let's get this a go, Mark. Yeah. What do you like, the in or the out?
I think the in.
In? It's certainly there.
What do you see? Like, what do you?
I see it ticking the red.
And if it does,
I think you make it without touching the red.
As they discuss things, live update, BC, Ontario, and you see Glenn Howard has that one locked in for shot stone, the run back. I think of the angles right here, Kathy. He does have a chance to score 2.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. You have to also roll the shooter.
Okay.
And he'll wreck on the guard out front, so it's not to be. So just
One
the
there,
single
Jimmy.
there, right on the button for Glenn Howard, who's made 11 Brier finals in his career, which is so impressive, winning 4 of them and also 4 world championships, one of the best ever.
Decision here is to run that redstone on the right-hand side of the line back to try to play the double across the face of their own stone in the forefoot.
Whoa! Close! Yeah! Yes! Yes! Hard! 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 Hard!
Mark Nichols here in 3, and he'll stuff the red.
Well, the crowd just loves contact, but that was not that great of a shot for Mark, and he knows it.
I still remember in Vancouver, someone would blank an end and throw it through, and they would boo.
Okay. Sure, get rid of them.
I
That's
think
good.
you just make this.
Okay.
What do you think?
I don't mind it.
You could nose it with backline or hack or whatever you want. Just if you ever slide off, it's not good. I think this is
sliding up high is really bad.
Is dead. Yeah. I think you just make the double.
Okay.
Should run right where you throw it, Beach. Half a rock, right?
Yeah, 2/3 is good.
Little less. Little less. Good. Yeah, but anywhere high, basically. It's gonna be good.
Looking to double those 2 stones out because now they're exposed.
Clean. Yep.
Easy, man. Easy.
Whoa. Yep. Yep.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Yep.
Hard.
Yeah.
Hard.
Right up. Right up. Right up.
Bang, bang, and both go as he loses the shooter, but mission accomplished.
Ideally, yeah. I'm thinking solid board.
What's this going to do?
Good though. Thanks.
Okay.
So solid board, Kathy, on the nose of his own stone. You avoid the jam of that one on the forefoot.
So he's going to hit it just off nose of red to yellow to red.
And then red goes.
And then red goes, and your shooter should roll to where that broom is and act as a protector.
Heavy board though. Okay. Get a little more curl than me.
Board.
Heavy. Little big. Yep. Little big.
Whoa. Slightly big, Mark.
Yep. Yes. Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Yep. Whoa. Yes. Yes. Hard.
Should be good.
Little tap back, and they'll roll the shooter over in our feature matchup. In the meantime, Alberta, Saskatchewan. Brendan Botcher here, a chance to finally get on the board. You see that 3 from Saskatchewan in the first end, a steal of a single in the second end, and this is a draw for 2 here in the third end for Team Alberta.
Looking for the 8-foot.
Line's good.
Incredible, too. For the first time since 1999, there is a skip representing Alberta at the Brier, not named Kevin Martin, Kevin Cooey, or Randy Furby. And the young man comes through with a lovely draw, so 2 on the board for Team Alberta. It is Adam Casey still leading 4-2 after 3.
Yeah, look at solid control. Okay. Probably get some curl here.
You would think a little bit.
Give me an inch more.
Good. Think with control we'll get some curl.
You would think, yeah.
All right, Mikey, here we go.
Yeah.
What does he want to accomplish here, Kathy?
Hit and roll. I like to roll, obviously remove the stone and then roll to the center
Yep. Yep.
to lie 2.
Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Close. Whoa.
Whoa, has to curl. Has to curl a lot.
Hard, Denny's.
Hard, Denny.
Little flip inside.
Okay.
I like a little less.
And it should be just a nose hit for 2.
Oh, yeah. That was pretty straight.
So we want to hit a hair low.
Just a hair low. Nose makes it, but...
Yeah.
There's a lot of Brier stats, Kathy, that always impress me when you look across all the years, whether it's wins or finals or even losses. But the one that stands out to me for Brad Gushue,
Tighten up the ice.
this is his 14th Brier. In those 14 appearances, Kathy, once he's had a record below 500 in round robin play, and that was in Saskatoon when he was 5-6. And you think about all the teams and the players that Brad has tried to bring in and woo, per se, to come to the rock and curl with him or join his team. I think that's really impressive.
Remarkable.
Just board.
Hairless.
Yep. Good weight. Board.
Clean. Yes. Yes. Hard.
Final stone here in 3. Walker and Gallant now have to save this for him. Hit it on the nose and stick, and he gets his pair. Big scrub here. Bang, bang. Red goes. Shooter sticks around. You like that, St. John's? You bet they do. 2 on the board for the skip from St. John's. Welcome back to St. John's, where the only thing better than the views might be the people who are outstanding. Now, sometimes the sayings here,
I'm lost,
are a little bit different than what we're used to, which brings us to your morning local language lesson.
Chummy tends to be used to replace the name of something that you might know the name of it, and you might not. It's just simply a way to expedite getting something from point A to point B. For example, I could be working on my car and I could need a 15-millimeter wrench. And I might say to my buddy, pass me the chummy over there. You know, we just instinctively know what the chummy is that we're needing at that particular point in time. It's almost as if there's a connection. Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's a kind of, I suppose, unspoken communication, a link between two people in which they're very familiar with the situation, they know what's required, and so I guess it makes them chummies because they're using a chummy.
It is a beautiful part of the world, isn't it? The most eastern city in Canada. So much great history here in St. John's. And Kathy, you've yet to give me a chummy.
Well, I don't have a wrench. Sorry, I don't have it. It's wonderful. It really, the people are so incredible. I had the opportunity to be here in 2005 with Jennifer and fell in love with not only the province but the people, and nothing has changed.
And that would be Jennifer Jones. A lot of great success. My colleague here, a three-time Scotties champion, and we're here for one of the best Briers ever in our feature matchup. Some great shots being made thus far. And that little tap back for two from Brad Gushue, Newfoundland Labrador, has him leading 3-2 in our feature matchup over Team Manitoba. So does Mike McEwen throwing red stones with hammer here in four.
A little rib. Whoa, room. Hey, weight's nice. Room. Hey, weight only, guys. Let it curl.
It's good. Jeff?
Looks like it's here.
Heavy?
It's over. Whoa.
It's curling nice.
Let it work.
Line should get there.
Just clean, Jeff. We got enough curl here. Okay. Good shot. Come on.
Real good. Yeah.
For Gallant delivering another really good guard. Those long guards are often very difficult. It seems so easy, but I think sometimes from the hack you are just trying to be so precise.
Whoa.
Always lots of separation between the stones, which makes double run backs pretty tough for the Manitoba team.
Try Matt.
Example right there.
Same spot, Brett.
Same shot. Yeah.
Shade more. That was about the same.
Whoa, Mark. You don't need to, Mark.
Same spot.
Wider, too.
Okay. Line's a little tighter.
Probably a little
Line's
further.
good.
Yeah, a foot further.
Line's good.
On its own. You can clean
Line's
it.
real good.
That's about it.
Yep.
On its
Whoa,
own.
whoa.
On its own.
Shooting, Brad.
Okay, good. Shot.
Same amount you just hit. It's probably perfect.
Matt trying to remove not only that long one, but some collateral damage as well.
Okay.
Jeez.
Same thing, Mark.
Felt the same to me as it did 2 ends ago, Mark.
Talked to Mark Nicholas before the competition began just about how special this is to be at home for the first time in a long time. He said it was weird we didn't have to fly anywhere on a Wednesday morning across the country to get to the event, and he's like, I'm still at work, so that's telling you something, that with the competition beginning Friday with the Fort Hot Shots and then Saturday. And the one thing I asked him is, do you guys have a plan to try and stay focused this week, because there's going to be people wanting pictures and autographs and a lot of your time for interviews and other sort of commitments? And he said they do have a plan. They want to try enjoy it, but walk that fine line between enjoying it and seeing the patch and the autograph sessions, but also getting their rest, getting their sleep, and focusing on the task at hand. And that's something you actually have to plan and chart out when you're this team.
Very much. And in fact, when you're any team, you have to decide how you're going to deal with all of the external things that will be demands on your time from family and friends that are here that want to be a part of the experience and want to be a part of this with you. On one hand, they relax you and give you extra energy, but on the other hand, you do need some alone time to decompress. And for this team, they will be pulled in so many different ways, and it's really important to be polite, but to be firm that your primary function is here to curl.
Still solid?
Yes.
Okay, he might roll out.
Now Mike electing to do that shot instead because the long guard did not curl enough.
This week, Kevin Koe has a chance to become a skip to 4 Brier titles. If he can successfully defend his championship, he's taking on Northern Ontario, a rematch of that semifinal last year, his final stone here in 4, and he's got a draw, I believe, the outturn for 2.
He does. Already lies 1 in the 8-foot, and so as long as he's able to get about half of the stone into the 8-foot, it will be for the second point.
Mine's good.
Last time we saw this team was the
boys, right on the button.
Pinty's All-Star Curling Skins game in beautiful Banff, Alberta, where they walked away with the top prize.
It's too bad they didn't say double or nothing to Brad Jacobs at that point.
Good draw weight there, so 2 on the board for Kevin Koe as he answers, and a 4-2 lead for Team Canada.
These aren't quite sliding like yesterday.
We'll sit.
Okay, shot, Mark.
Good.
Great shot.
It was an interesting comment we heard Kevin Koe before we left that update, him saying it's not sliding like yesterday, and yet we're seeing on sheet A, which is where our feature game is, which is by the crowd side, so often you will see it slower. It's actually faster than it was yesterday. So again, this is about the players learning the building, learning the sheets as the ice starts to settle in by tonight and early tomorrow morning for conditions that should be pretty much the same the rest of the week.
Good. Nice job there to clean up the front from BJ Neufeld.
Good job, BJ.
Fourth end. It's not terrible.
Yeah.
He freezes. We'd have to be back here.
Yeah.
You want to be back 8.
Or there.
Yep.
Gotta be careful. He might be able to make something and roll on, maybe.
I don't know the feel. What's that?
I don't hate hit and roll either.
I don't hate that. I don't mind a good guard. Good guard, he does this.
Yeah, it's open.
Yeah. Same thing, if we go here, it's open too. And if he misses it, it's a better chance of the steal.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Okay. Do we want to be T-line?
I think so. Yeah. Like, that's not killer. He doesn't have much room to work with.
Sure. T-line.
Yeah. I think we want to be there, Mark.
Okay.
So decision is to play hard for the steal in this end.
Yeah.
And the only risk of this shot is if they are at all behind the tee line, they know that Mike will play the freeze to try to generate his 2. So the key for the Newfoundland Labrador team is to be in front of the tee line, ideally the 4-foot.
I think it'll be 2 feet slower in here.
Okay.
And then you'll need 3 feet more, 5 feet more than a couple.
Where was that tap I played 2 ends ago? That was
back 8.
Back 8, back 12 on its own?
Close weight. Here less than that.
You gonna get a time for us here, Kathy?
I am.
Chummy.
Pass me the chummy. My stopwatch.
Weight's good.
Mine's a little
Up
tight.
4. Close, yep.
Mine's good.
T-line.
Back 4. Looks hard. Back 4.
It's good, I think.
Mine's good.
Yeah, bro.
Back 4.
Back button.
No.
Mine's real good.
That's 14-2.
A bit.
Brett's in, if anything. No, let it die.
It's coming down. Let it die. I'm letting it die.
Shade high. You might be able to roll it on too, Matt.
Yeah, sliver high.
Like there? Might be able to roll the shooter on too. I think it's close.
Hanging on the edge.
Well, it's interesting. This was one of the shots that Brett Gallant talked about, whether if they made this shot and the run back double was made, if the shooter could roll on. Brad Gushue felt that with peel weight, the shooter, thinking about the full rock ahead of where BJ's broom is, would not be able to roll on.
That'd be really tough to roll on, I think.
All right, Mikey, here we go.
He was the second skip in Manitoba's curling history to play in 4 consecutive provincial finals. He beat Reed Carruthers 8-7 to earn his second straight trip here to the Tim Hortons Brier.
Yeah!
Mike McEwen.
Whoa! 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 Yeah!
First here in 4, run it back, bang, bang, gets the double. The shooter won't roll in, but he is shot stone there, top 8 here in 4.
Shot, Mikey. Stone, Mike. Good throw.
Shot, Mike. Nice. Really good.
A very nice double back. You see there really is no chance for that shooter to roll in.
We'll have to roll behind the corner, but we can't roll out, right? No.
Yeah.
So let's roll behind.
And I just glanced over there, Brian. Sorry to see Glenn Howard make a great hit and roll. It's actually a double to stick it behind there to B shot. But boy, I think he's got a chance for 5.
So Jim Cotter, final stone here in 4. It is Ontario, a 2-1 advantage coming in.
Close.
Close.
John Morris back with his team. He's in the house. And he wants him off this stone big time.
Whoa, Ty, whoa.
Trying to get it to curl up, and they'll drive it right by. And that is a tough miss. And Glenn Howard's reaction was, oh boy, did we get away with one there. So instead of a big end there, it's a steal and a 3-1 advantage for Team Ontario. Glenn Howard.
This looked like his grab. Soft grab there at the end. Soft grab there at the end. All right, Mike.
It ended up only being like...
Yeah.
Not, well, I know, it just tapped it through.
I underthrew it anyway, but looked like we had the perfect roll at the hog line.
The way that was coming in.
Looked a little unnatural.
Clean.
Yep.
Whoa,
Clean.
just clean, just clean.
Yep,
Mike McEwen, final stone here in 4.
Yep.
Right up. Hard.
Yeah.
Good.
And a nice clean throw. Blank on the board. And some real nice shooting so far from both these skips in St. John's. It's a 1-point game.
.44 curlers started the week with a chance to drive away in an all-new 2017 Ford Escape SE in the annual Ford Hot Shots competition. The number whittled down to just 2. And in the final, Martin Crête from Quebec faced off against Northern Ontario's Brad Jacobs. And the skip from the Sioux, well, he came to play, scoring a total of 21 points, including a 5 on the Around the Horn triple. Northern Ontario's Brad Jacobs wins the Ford Hot Shots and a 2-year lease on a 2017 Ford Escape SE.
It's been a lot of fun watching the Ford Hot Shots too this year with the new shots, that round the world shot, and then whether it's the Sandra Schmerler or the Jennifer Jones in-off shot. It's been a lot of fun watching the new disciplines for the Ford Hot Shots, and congrats to Brad Jacobs for the win this year. In our feature matchup, it was a blank on the board in that 4th end, courtesy Mike McEwen. So once again, throwing the red stones, he has hammer here in 5.
And a really well-played game so far, and we would expect nothing less from these two teams.
Great sweep, Matt. I just didn't want it to die.
You got another shot. That was your first one.
4.
Back to work, Denny. Danny Neufeld leads stones for Manitoba.
That's what your brother's there for.
It's pretty close.
Mine's good.
Weight's good.
I don't think it's
Hair heavy.
Well, then,
think so.
mine's good.
Weight's good.
Little bit of room. Little bit of room.
Weight's good.
Little bit of room. Only, guys. Wait only. Needs a curl. Looks heavy.
It is. Right beside it.
Oh, no.
Yep. It's really heavy.
Hack.
Yep. Bumper. Hard. Hard, Matt. Really hard.
Hard.
We're getting close.
Hard. Hard! Right up, buddy. Hard! Roll it! Right up, right up, right up. Roll it!
What a scrub there from Matt Wozniak to hold that and keep the line.
Great sweep.
True.
Might just be a little bit of curl there. And that's I was a little over the top, I thought.
I'd be good at the cheerleader part there, Kathy. Just saying,
Yes.
yeah, you're looking good. Keep going. keep
Why,
working.
why does that not surprise me at
T-line
all?
weight or? Yeah, a little bump is okay. Freeze is good.
T-line weight.
Same weight as Jeff. Maybe a...
And if we lock
You've been
it
impressed,
on,
Kathy,
it's
with this
okay.
young man's play so far.
We were talking about it in the break, and I think that, you know, so often when we go to updates, what you see are the results of the third shots or the skip shots, but the setup shots are so important, and Rick Gallant has made so many great shots today. Those long guards that create separation but are right in front of the first guard make the doubles almost impossible. So he has put Newfoundland and Labrador in such good stead, and he's a great brusher, just a really good all-around player.
Oh, can't bounce with this line. Bouncing a little.
And this entire team, actually, former
Nice shot,
skips.
Brad.
Jeff
Good shot.
Walker, the lead, was a Canadian World Junior champ in 2006. Rick Gallant,
Hook it a bit,
a
stay
great
on top
junior
of it.
skip as
You
well.
bet.
And Mark Nichols a skip this year because the
Had
leader
to.
wasn't feeling great with the hips. So, and Mark was really a great leader. I mean, you're the leader as the skip, but he really was a great leader. And Brad even admitted, I think it was a lot better for our team, our dynamic, because we got so much more to Mark now, and he's really in a leadership role on this team. And they're a better team for that.
And I agree, as you
process.
talk about all of them having skipped, it gives you a better perspective when you're playing a different position to
pretty light.
understand
T-line!
not only your role, but the role of the other people on the team, and appreciate
T-line!
all that the skip goes through.
Whoa!
Line's good.
Weight's
Line's
cold.
good.
Yeah!
Line's
Weight's good.
Whoa! 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 Whoa!
Back in.
Whoa, guys. Jeez.
Sit. Good.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, I almost cooked it. Shot. I think just making the roll is good. Here.
This is that spot. It might curl a little. Mine won't, like Brad's.
We can hold it.
Yeah.
And for Brad, it is a balance of not only moving stones around, but also ensuring that he does not allow too many of those red Manitoba stones to build up in the house without last rock here in 5.
Just board. Just board, Brad. Whoa.
Real close. Wow. No,
Trying to get to the inside.
No. Right off. Right off. Okay.
Not bad.
Across the face, baby.
We talk about this experience of playing here in St. John's for this Gushue team. Kathy, have you had the opportunity, whether Worlds or Scotties, to play in your hometown or province?
I absolutely had the opportunity to play in both a Canadian Scotties and a World Championship in Brandon, so not in my own city, but certainly in the province and in a city that I'm very close to. A lot of time, obviously one with Lois as well, so Brandon is my second home.
And the feelings
Oh.
that year when you
Incredible. It is undescribable how it feels to have the support of the entire community with you.
Normal?
Stuffs it.
Pretty tight to the guard and normal.
Yeah, you're not getting rid of the top one.
Make sure we save our shooter.
Hold it here, I think.
So Mike looking at it to ensure that the angles are right so that Matt is not going to drive it back onto their own stone.
Yep! Whoa! Yeah! Whoa! Whoa! Yeah! Whoa! No! No!
Whoa!
No! No! No!
No!
Save the shooter. Sit, sit, sit.
Okay.
Good.
Good shot.
Okay, not bad.
Let's make the double.
Might be able to make the double and roll, but is the double and roll there?
No. You can probably roll to there.
What I've been seeing, these have been running real
What do you
straight,
think?
huh?
I think so.
Just here.
Yep.
The only shot I can recall in this exact same path was Mike McEwen in the third end. They thought it might move up a little bit, and it did not. You can see the ice they're giving for Mark, center of the rock.
Gotta go, Brett.
Even 2/3 negative.
Hard, 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 hard. You got it. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Meantime, we'll give you an update as that is made with a hit and roll. This is Team Canada, a 4-2 advantage over Northern Ontario. It is Brad Jacobs throwing the yellow stone, so obviously needs a nice draw with this final one. And Kathy, I want to point this out to you. Incredible. He is 22-1 in his last 2 Brier round robins after winning yesterday. 22-1 and 29-4 in their last 33 Brier games.
It's ridiculous.
And that field last year, no cakewalk in Ottawa to run the table and be perfect. And the 1 Brier title coming in Edmonton in 2013. Nice draw weight there, so it is a single and a tough draw for Brad Jacobs. So 4-3, Team Canada leads after 5.
Okay, that's good. Pretty good. It's here.
And a softer weight by the McEwen team, trying to preserve the shooter, but also to keep as much separation as he can to ensure there's no double.
Need to roll a bit to get shot. Oh, timeout, timeout.
Timeout.
And it's not going to be a timeout charge to Newfoundland. There is a loose handle issue.
A loose handle.
I'm not getting.
We're good.
Oh, yeah. I'm looking at the wrong
They did
sheet.
run a few seconds.
Release and Broom aren't
Give us
matching
a
up.
few seconds.
Sorry.
And as they go to handle this situation, their coach is Jules Ochar, and it was a cool moment yesterday, Kathy. You had Kevin Martin, who's here coaching Alberta, and his son, Karek, and Jules were side by side, and for 30 years that was coach and player, and that all started back at the Northern Alberta Institute of Technology back at Nate. And Jules is now here, obviously looking at the rocks and scouting rocks for Team Newfoundland Labrador. That was a pretty cool moment yesterday.
Forward.
Yep.
There's Jules. Coach Och.
Perfect ice, just with a nice throw. Yeah.
Like he knew, but you know.
And he's talking to Denny Neufeld as Chris Neufeld. And it's interesting, of course, we've seen John Meade with this Mike McEwen team over the last couple of years. I asked Mike why Jonathan isn't here. He was with them when their provincial win, and it's just a work function. I think it's a lot of time off work to support this team.
Go, go! Whoa, 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 whoa! Good.
And wasn't able, so they go to the Canadian champion from 1992 with Vic Peters. And of course, Chris is the father of 2 of the players on this Manitoba team, somebody that fits in very comfortably.
I actually like it on that side better.
Oh, yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah. Good shot. Good throw.
Got to play it though.
See anything else?
Not
This
really.
is the only
Or
other
that.
option.
He makes
But
a good freeze.
tap onto us.
That's so good.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do this.
Think you make this?
Okay, Beach. Same weight.
What do you think?
Oh, hack weight.
Yeah.
Gotta make sure you kill him.
You're a bit strong on that last one.
You gotta get 1 out of the 8 at 12 foot.
Just to the half.
Give me a little less ice.
Good?
Still too much. Okay, Beach.
I think BJ had the opportunity to ask for even less. You heard him say that from the hack, and Mike was more than willing to move the broom.
Whoa, whoa.
As a thrower, you want to feel that you're aiming at the broom with complete confidence that it's in the right spot.
Clean.
Hard. Matt.
Yeah, go, Matt. Hard, Matt. Go, Matt.
Make sure you kill something
Yeah,
here,
you
Mike.
got to kill something.
Go, 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 go. You gotta go, you gotta go, 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 go.
It's a good shot.
It's good. Good shot. Oh boy.
It's really good. You couldn't do much better.
No, no, it's
Positive reinforcement.
Let's make the roll. Right back to the same spot would be really good.
Yeah.
no.
Word weight.
No.
Yeah, no, let's make the roll, Mark. Yep.
Skip Stone's here in 5.
Close. Yeah.
Little less than you, Mark.
Same weight, I think.
Yeah.
Whoa! Whoa!
Yeah.
Little less than you.
Yep. Yes. Yes.
Looking for the inside roll to take away the double.
Hard. No roll. No roll. No. Yep. Yep. Yes. Yes.
Over on sheet D, it is Alberta taking on Saskatchewan. It's a 4-point advantage right now for Adam Casey, but final stone here in 5, and 1 to come here from Brendan Botcher out of the Saville Community Sports Center in Edmonton. A beautiful facility and always fun to check in on the all-rookie team here from Alberta.
It's hard to tell who is second shot. From the overhead, it sort of looks like it is Alberta, so this could be a nose hit for 2.
No.
Darren Moulding in the house. You got to keep the shooter as that will spill out, and look at the yellow pop up. So now, instead of a chance for 2, a steal of 1 as Saskatchewan is rolling over on sheet D. Nice morning here for Adam Casey, who also lived on the Rock here in St. John's for about 4 years.
A pretty nice roll under by Brad Gushue, but very similar to the spot that BJ Neufeld just threw in, so the confidence should be there for the Manitoba team on how to get it out.
I think it's close. Okay.
Green it.
Yep.
Yep. Hard. Hard. Hard.
Hard, Denny, you got it.
Hard. Hard. Whoa. Whoa.
Denny Neufeld by the guard. Bump it. Both yellows moving.
Wow.
And they're 1 and 2. What a shot.
A great brushing by Denny Neufeld. There was no room between the guard and that stone that went by. That extra pressure sure makes a difference. Watch how little, like less than none.
A nice way, too, to make sure the shooter sticks around, move it enough, and they lie, too, with Hammer here in 5.
Close. The ice looked like
Option
maybe a
roll.
hair max, and I put it.
Yeah.
Hey?
If you like it. Are we playing the double or the roll?
Play the double.
Okay.
Do you like it with board?
Whatever you like. We
Half
know
rock?
board. What is it, a bit of half rock?
Yeah. Or do you just want to whip it down there? We whip it down there, we're blanking.
Shot, Mike.
Yeah.
I'm happy with whatever
Half?
you see.
Yeah. Yep. A little bit more weight than I just threw.
Half to thin half.
Yep. A little less than that, Mark.
Say a little more weight, it'll run a little straighter.
Yeah. Mind a hair less. Yep. You like that?
I do. I like it.
So as Brad Gushue settles in, a lot of rocks in play on sheet B. BC, Ontario, Glenn Howard up by 2. Jim Cotter, though, throwing the final stones. He does have one there touching the button. And a play here, I believe, Kathy, to try get 2. What's he playing?
I am not sure. I think he's trying to go through the hole, but he has got so little room to get through. As we watch the double not work out.
Double not to be there, so in our feature matchup, it'll be a draw for 2 for Mike McEwen. In the meantime, Ty Griffith, all he's got on the brush on sheet B.
Trying to keep it straight to get through that hole. That is not a very large port.
Just not even sure if that was there,
I'm
Kathy.
not sure if it was. You have to throw something.
So 1 on the board for Jim Cotter. John Morris, Team BC. 3-2 Ontario. After 5.
Weight's still pretty good here.
Is this a good path, or are we going out too wide?
Well, where's what you gave me? What did you give me for my draw here? This is my draw
this
path.
Is more.
Just a little less.
Take Denny's path.
Just take my path.
That's better.
Because I have one
Guard's
that
over,
curls a
too.
bit. Yours won't curl that much.
Yeah, this is.
Just not wanting to discover a brand new path on this final stone. The draw for 2.
Line's good.
That's light for sure.
And light means go time here for the front
Come on,
end.
guys. Really got to go.
Denny Neufeld.
Come on, boys.
Matt Wozniak.
Come on, boys.
They have not stopped.
Come on. Come on, Denny. Push it, Denny.
Big scrub here from this front end. That is a working man's shot. What a scrub. All the way to the button. And even the crowd has to acknowledge that. It is 4-3 after 5.
The 2017 Tim Hortons Brier is brought to you by Tim Hortons, official coffee of Curling Canada.
there's George Street. Pretty quiet now on a Sunday morning, but it will be much different later this week as the curlers don't have very far to go to enjoy that. And for Mike McEwen, it has been a bit of a battle this morning, fighting the crowd more than anything else, and he is with Brian.
Mike, I know George Street is just a stone's throw away. Do you got to buy a few beers for your front end after that final draw?
Yeah, I pulled the string a bit, so it's nice to know that they could actually do that much damage. That's just a testament to how strong they are.
When was the last time you played a morning draw at the Brier and had a crowd like this?
Never. I thought, if anytime you're going to play Team Newfoundland, this might be maybe the quietest the building will be, but it's not quiet. So.
One of the storylines was your team, that meeting in December. You guys look like a different team out here. How much fun are you guys having once again and enjoying the sport?
Yeah, the enjoyment level is just through the roof compared to how we've been operating the last few years. It's not a relief winning anymore. It's just we're enjoying it. It's actually fun again versus being kind of we won that game or something like that. So we're really enjoying the process quite a bit more.
Good luck going forward. Thanks for your time, Mike.
Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
We saw those numbers from Mike. Let's take a look at the numbers after 5, and they're brought to you by Ford of Canada, proud partner with Curling Canada for 22 years. Well, the numbers certainly on the bottom, the overall team percentage, they do favor Newfoundland. I look to the front end that I think has really made a difference today in setting up that Newfoundland team so well. Brett Gallant at 98% compared to Matt Wozniak at 80%. That's going to be a difference in what the back ends face. And for Newfoundland and Labrador, they do have last rock as they go to the evens. Pretty comfortable for Brad Gushue.
The 2017 Tim Hortons Brier is brought to you by World Financial Group, helping Canadians have better financial futures. By Home Hardware, homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice. And by Ford of Canada, proud partner with Curling Canada for 22 years.
Is it that time already for Christmas shopping, Kathy?
Yes,
or is
where's my
calendar?
gift?
Yeah, it's coming. Those are the social bowls. They are a great tradition at the Brier, always dressed up in different outfits at every event, at every day. And just a reminder, it's an all-new twist, a fresh season. It's MasterChef Canada. All new Thursday at 9, 8 Central on CTV. It's 295 days till Christmas, so enough naughtiness, Kathy. Time to get nice here. Santa's watching all of them. All 6 of them, or 5.
The sociables are a big part of the Brier. Their attire every day is different, and the crowd does enjoy watching them as well.
You know what also impresses me all the time? We are as east as you can get in Canada, St. John's, and there are still Saskatchewan Roughrider jerseys in the building. The love for the Saskatchewan Roughriders across our great country just always boggles my mind, but good for them, obviously wearing the green colors. Our feature matchup this Sunday morning, our first Sunday morning at this year's Brier, it's Manitoba and Newfoundland Labrador. It's been a very well-played game so far, a lot of nice shots made. It is 4-3, Manitoba leading after Mike McEwen. He said he pulled the string, but his front end came through. Some great sweeping as he scored the pair. So now here in 6, it is Newfoundland Labrador for the Yellowstones with Hammer. And this one from Jeff Walker.
Hard, 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 hard! Hard! Hard!
And it does just bite paint there in the 12-foot.
We have not seen any flattening out of the ice at all. It is a very cold building, and so that should keep the ice conditions at its best.
Clean.
Off.
Yep. I don't want to roll.
Good. Okay, that's fine.
You know, Kathy, some players will bring a 5th player to an event like this. It's a long week, and you just never know sickness or illness or an injury. And it's been documented many times about Brad Gushue, the amazing job he's done to rehab that hip and come back and playing wonderful, obviously. But that being said, they were asked, why not maybe pick up an extra player for this event, just considering, you know, you never know, need a night off or something happens. They couldn't pick up a player that's been in playdowns across Canada, and they didn't want to bring in a player they didn't know very well. And a lot of the local players, they still wanted to play in the Travelers event, and if that person were to come up, then they wouldn't be eligible for Travelers for 4 years. So it was actually a process they looked into, and they weighed the options and just decided, you know what, we didn't want to bring somebody into our dynamic we didn't know very well, so they decided to go with the 4 players.
And sometimes it really is a risk that you take, deciding that if you have a player that gets hurt or goes down, that you'll play with 3 and that you believe in the strength of the 3. And as we know more and more about sweeping and that second sweeper having less of an effect, a lot of teams more comfortable with it. Both of the teams we're featuring today have a coach on the bench, but they do not have a 5th player that could go in. When John Meade is here for Team McEwen, he is a guy that could be a coach and a 5th player. But with Denny sitting on the bench, I don't know that Denny has thrown a rock in a number of years. You can go back to '92. He was a superstar with Vic Peters. And they always call him Denny. That was Vic's name for him because the German translation is Little. His formal name is Chris, but he's the original Denny Neufeld.
It's real tight.
Look at this. Little English lessons with Kathy
Oh, that's
Goche on a
the
Sunday morning.
only German word I know other than strudel.
Bottom of the cup.
Okay, good shot. Good. I think so. You like that?
Okay.
You could just rip.
I was thinking the other way, like cross the face.
That's what he's doing, isn't it?
Well, you could do that.
Yeah, that's bad.
Which, whatever.
Okay, the straight back.
Yeah,
I don't mind this.
Then what? Yeah, I mean, the other way is just coming.
Okay, make it.
Yeah.
You gotta play across.
Okay, Beach.
Let's make it.
Running the guard back, hoping to also pick out the stone.
Meantime, we update Team Canada Northern Ontario as they'll jam it on their own Manitoba stone. And there you see 2 from Brad Jacobs, 1 on the button, 1 biting the 4. I ran into John Dunn at breakfast this morning, their coach, and he had said, man, that win last night at Brier, we're not used to that. He said since he's been with Kevin Cooey, it's been a number of years since they've won their opening game at the Brier. So he was pretty happy about that. Final stone here from Kevin Cooey, and he needs a nice little draw/tap to pick up his single.
You're right, Brian, he does have to tap because that stone is in front of the tee line, so just to the nose won't be enough.
Good sweep, guys. Good sweep.
There's the tap, and there's the single.
Good shot, Kevin.
So it is 5-3
Good sweep, guys.
as Kevin Cooey leads after
That was
6.
a little fishy, hey?
Meantime, it's Mark Nichols delivering in our feature matchup here in a 4-3 Manitoba lead.
Oh, well, that hit for BJ didn't work out. He did roll his shooter to act as a partial guard.
Oh,
And
man,
boy,
right in the pocket now.
Trading advantages back and forth right now.
Second, no way.
Really light.
He's second shot.
I think you make that.
Good, maybe if you...
4 to 6 feet late.
Didn't look bad out of his hand, though. I didn't think it looked bad out of his hand, so I don't know if you're a little soft.
Yeah, but if you just get the roll for the guard, it's not the worst either.
I think so.
Nose this, the red.
And the other option is right on the nose.
Yes.
Like that?
Sure.
For sure.
It's one or the other.
I like the nose.
This is way
I don't mind this.
Good result.
Okay.
I agree. This is a way easier shot to get the same outcome. That roll is a long way. You hit and you roll out. You hit really thin. You pick your own out. This gives you a lot more options to work within, especially with Newfoundland Labrador having final stone here in 6.
Hard. Yeah. Hard. Hard.
Good. Bang, bang. Yellows go. The red will squirt through, but gets a couple of those yellow stones out of there.
Throw. Well, it would have been nice to lie 3. I don't know. I guess you couldn't.
Straight freeze?
Yeah. Where was that last one? Back line?
No.
Yeah. I would say it'd be close.
On its own, it was to here. Yeah.
Probably just through.
Okay. On its own, it was to here.
Brendan Botcher, Darren Moulding, Bradley Thiessen, and Karek Martin representing Team Alberta this year, taking on Team Saskatchewan and Adam Casey. Final stone here in 6 for the 25-year-old skip from the University of Alberta.
Weight's good. Clean. Wall. Clean it. Go big. Clean it.
Had a great CIS career.
Clean it up. Weight's good.
And now looking to make some noise in his first ever Brier. On the nose with that quiet weight, and away it goes for 2. So the 7-4 Saskatchewan after 6.
Good throws, Brendan.
Go Wait. Gotta go Wait. Gotta go hard.
Okay. Wait.
I think you just roll this. Pretty sure.
I think so.
Yeah, that's the shot.
Is that or you play the double?
Well, actually, I like the double. The double's the shot. Feel. Right here. Let's play the double.
This should run, right? Because we're going off the...
Yeah. There?
When you play the double, get rid of both yellows. If it does over curl, you at least eliminate the stone, and you actually would probably roll in front of the yellow-red mix as a guard. So a couple of options on this shot.
This didn't fall, this spot, remember?
The spot was curling in the hot shots.
It was. I don't think it's much different than... I think I could trust that to stay there or tweak up a little, right?
You're trying
Should
to
be good.
throwing it hard, right?
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Is it tough, though, to take information from the Ford Hot Shots, though, Kathy? I mean, that was a number of draws and pebbles and days ago, and you know the ice will change, and usually it gets a little bit straighter, and by straighter, I mean maybe 4 feet of curl instead of 5.
Yeah, I think that usually where the big differences are that you see are in the bumper and hack weights, not so much on the lines.
Oh.
Very nice.
Boom, boom, double. Mike McEwen, nice shot.
Way to go.
You know, that'll build some confidence as well, feeling very confident about where that broom goes. That's the schooling that happens in the first couple of days that gives you the confidence as the week progresses.
Threw a whole bunch of those right there.
Yeah, it's just better. It's better than
I knew it wouldn't
be.
I knew it wouldn't fall.
Yeah.
I like the rolling a bit, so Mill's nose is still shot.
Yeah.
Is that enough ice for me?
From peel?
Yeah, you can try.
Got the nice throw. I think it's good ice.
Okay.
What Brad's talking about, the nose is still shot. You make the double and you roll a little bit so that when Mike McEwen hits it on the nose on his next one, Brad will be able to in turn hit it on the nose and still be shot.
Whoa! Roll it, Jeff! Roll it, Jeff!
Update for you, Ontario and BC. It was a blank. So it is Glenn Hauer still with hammer in the 7th end after they blanked the 6th.
If he goes nose, are we shot? Or close, eh?
It's going to be close. I don't have a great look, but
okay.
Good control.
Clean it.
Just clean.
Just clean. Whoa. Clean it. Clean. We're just nosing it. Good. Shot.
Hi, Mike.
I think so.
You good?
Yeah, real good. Worth the risk, eh?
It's either you try this.
And I don't think it does. When he's talking about the nose, if he knows that stone by the center line, I am not convinced it will outcount that one on the left. He'd have to roll to the right, and rather than futz around with that, they're just going to play the draw.
I always find it interesting, skips and decisions. I mean, you could, I think, hit on the nose and take your one. I think you'd still be shot stone, the one in the 8 foot, but
on the the one on the center line.
If you if you bang the one in the center line, I think you're shot stone, right?
No.
You're not?
Take a look.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Kathy.
Anything else?
Well, I got lots of issues actually, but we don't have enough time or money for that matter.
You would have to roll to the inside, and you know, to predict that, I think for a guy like Brad Gushue, who put it right on the pin in the draw
No worries on line. You're
before
out
the
there.
game started, this is his.
Sliding like it's heavy.
This is a shot that he's very comfortable with.
It's not curling yet.
It's not curling
yet. Not curling yet.
It's good.
No.
And it needs to stop in time, and that slides too far. Wow.
One. Yeah.
Did not see that coming. So it's a steal of 1 for Mike McEwen and Team Manitoba. They lead by 2 after 6.
I got a call from Sean in the spring after my team sort of disbanded, said they were looking for a guy, and I was like, who the hell is Sean McEwen? I had to Google them. I did some research, and I saw they had a better season than we did, so I was like, wow, they must be pretty good. And then from there, we kind of added Dustin, and I was like, you know what, this feels like the right fit.
Everything's going to have to go right. I mean, we're going to have to peak and play our best, and we're going to have to push a lot of teams, and we're going to have to get a lot of breaks. So you're going to have to have luck on your side, but you're going to have to take care of your own business as well.
Who the heck is Kathy Gauthier?
Yeah, seriously.
Right? Well, that would be Sean McEwen.
That's awesome.
And now they're part of Team Saskatchewan. Adam Casey, Jamie Cooey. Our next game at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. TSN 1, 3, and 5 with Vic, Cheryl, Russ, Kathy, myself, all your coverage. Pretty incredible story. Adam Casey, by the way, the 5th player in Brier history to represent 3 different provinces or territories at the National Men's Championship. So he still lives in Charlottetown, but with the new rules now, he is playing for Team Saskatchewan. I don't know how popular he is in Charlottetown, though. He took PI to relegation last year and then goes and plays for Team Saskatchewan. It's kind of a tough one, but regardless, that is our feature matchup this afternoon. How funny is that? I had to Google these guys. I didn't really know who they were.
Awesome.
And the rest is history. So.
Well, I think that says a couple of things. It does say that the Canadian borders are shrinking with that new rule. People will not just look within their own borders. They'll look for somebody who has the time, the dedication, the ability to put into the game. And in the case of Sean McEwen, they were also looking for someone that had experience at the Brier, and that certainly has borne really well for them.
So we mentioned 5 players have represented 3 different provinces or territories. Do you have any idea of the other ones? You
Johnny Moe.
Yeah, correct. A lot of them are here. They're playing, actually. Little Fry, Ryan Fry.
Oh shoot! I'm looking across the.
That's fine.
Okay, so I'm thinking.
And one on the territories. How's that? That should help you.
Chris Shilley.
There you go. And we'll probably see another one. He's not a player, but he's a proud dad. He'll be here.
It's really hard to make.
Earl Morris. There you go. You got it. Wow.
Wow.
Shoot.
That's tough to make, though. You'd have to throw that real hard.
Maybe a rock higher, eh?
Now, and back in the day for Earl Morris, that was a case of somebody who was physically moving because of work requirements and chose to play in those provinces. And now it's people looking for opportunity.
Added a little, but not enough. Gotta go.
Well, Gushue, if you Googled me, I'd be scared what you find.
I'm not.
You know?
I know enough about you. I do not need to know anymore.
Real hard, Mark.
Oh, that was great.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay.
Make this one.
Looks like a third of a little thick third to me.
You're on the top side.
It's not panic time yet at all for Newfoundland and Labrador, but they certainly would like to find a way to get that 2 back.
Over the top, go.
What a bonus shot that is. Gets them both going.
But shots like that are going to make it very difficult. Lovely throw by Matt.
Good sweep, Beach. Shot, Matt.
That's a pretty sharp angle. You see BJ staying right on it to get that shooter as far out of play as possible.
Pretty good.
A little light.
Back
Back
4,
back 8.
Okay, line's good.
You want back 8, back 12,
back
guys?
12, guys. Back 12.
Line's good.
Line's good. All yours. Needs a curl, if anything.
Weight's good.
Mark's in. It's not curling at all. Stay with it, Mark.
Back pull.
Stick with it, Mark. It's got to curl a mile.
Go, 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 go. Hard if it's not through. Go, 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 go. Great weight. Didn't finish.
And that's known as trying to utilize anything that you have at your disposal to act as a guard, even if that stone's in the house.
That's good. It's back of the house.
Kind of wait.
That's good for normal.
Look okay?
That's good, Beach.
Okay. Whoa. Clean. Clean. Just clean. Just clean. Just clean. Whoa. Oh. Oh, good.
Good shot.
Very nice.
You slid pretty good, Brett.
Yeah. Nice. Your shirt's staying tucked today.
Gotta go a bit.
Go then.
You got room.
Weight's
Got
close.
lots of
Gotta
room
go a
right
bit.
now.
Back 8. You have a ton of room, guys.
Need back 8, back 12.
Just back 8.
Lots of room right now.
You can
Get
go,
it back
Brett.
here and it'll be pretty
You
close.
can go,
to
Brett.
Hard, Brett.
Go!
Yep. Come on, come on, come
Yep.
on, come on, come on.
Yes!
Keep going. It's burying. Go, 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 go. All you can get. Go, go, go,
Trying
go,
to get
go.
more
Good
finish
shot.
to be buried, hoping that Manitoba will have to run one of their stones back.
Like with hack. Or this.
The shot's
I like the hack.
Yeah, I agree. Make it.
Playing a little
Hair down.
softer weight to get that finish,
Yep.
given that it is
Clean.
more buried than it was on the first.
Clean. Weight's good. Weight's good. Yep. Clean. Clean. Clean.
You know, Brian, we talk a lot about Mike and how this was a nicer win for him, a more important win this year. And maybe because he knew in the final last year against Matt Dunstone he was coming. And so we took a look at what happens to teams when they come the second time. Does that first year make a difference? Well, these are Manitoba titles. And look what happened on their second appearance for Jeff and Don Duguid. They found a way to win in their second year. And there's some pretty quality names in that set. And so for Mike, you take what you learned last year and convert that to a closing weekend.
Brendan Botcher and Team Alberta, he had an interesting comment knowing his history. First Alberta skip here, other than Randy Furby, other than Kevin Cooey or Kevin Martin. He pointed out that in their first ever Briers, Kevin Martin 91, Kevin Cooey 2010, they won as rookie skips. So he was
You're right. I think we go.
Could have been off it, I guess.
pretty good with his history. A new name for the first time since 1999 out of Alberta.
Yeah,
I think the next was Ken Hunka. It was Ken Hunka that year, I remember. Blake McDonald was on that team. And Blake's actually here this week.
He is. He absolutely is here.
Where are we going here? Just top 8 then? Where are we going, Mikey? Where do we want this depth was? Top 8 kick.
Top 8. Should be good out here.
Yeah.
It's got more than the
That's okay. Hit it if you can.
last end.
Top 8.
Close. Weight's good.
I think we're there.
Really close.
Top 8. Line's good. Line's good. Just full 8. Full 8. Just full 8. Just full 8.
Hard. Hard. Really hard.
Good. Real good. Good
Shot.
spot.
Attaboy.
Very nice.
Shot, Mike.
Spot.
Yeah, really good.
That
freeze. That's super thin. I don't like that.
Trying to ensure the force this end.
No.
You get shot?
What's that?
Or, and not shot, but in the rings? Yeah, I think could.
I think it goes over the top.
Well, if you get it just skewed a little bit.
Yeah, he might just guard.
What do you like, the hit and roll or the freeze?
Not a huge fan of the hit and roll because
it's a pretty short run.
And might make it tough, like a tougher score for us.
Freeze is better. So you like this?
I think that. It's a better result both ways.
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah. It's a trickier line. We really haven't played down this path, but
once it gets to center, it curls. I don't think you need a ton less than you do to get to the button. Like
there. Sure. That's button. We got to be.
Just
remember
right
your
on
shot in the first end. I know it was wider.
Yeah.
You want to be right on the nose of it.
Right there.
Let's check in, Kathy. Next door now, BC, Ontario. Glenn Howard in his 17th Brier appearance and his final stone here in 7 against John Morris.
Well, John Morris just grazed the guard. Jim Cotter actually throws the final stone. So this is the run back for 3.
And a bad angle there. Maybe overthrown. Regardless, it'll just be the single for Team Ontario. So 1 on the board and a 4-2 advantage after 7. Interesting, Kathy. We popped over there a few times, and both Jim Cotter and Glenn Howard caught in a couple spots or maybe overthrown rocks in certain situations. Easy for us up here, but every time we peek over, just either overthrown or fooled by the ice a little bit.
So decision here is to play that freeze across the face of the stone, and that's why Mike played the stone in the 8-foot, because a hit and roll by Brad Gushue is a short run for Manitoba.
Yeah. We just told you the story of Brendan Botcher and his rookie team. He's taking on Team Saskatchewan, and Botcher, pretty good job here in 7 to apply some pressure. You see those 2 reds right in the 4-foot. Final one to come here from Adam Casey.
Where are we? Hard line.
The scoring zone is very small.
T. Easy meat. T. Room.
Just wait.
Line's really good. Line's great. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hit the back.
He's got a bit of backing, but he's got to slow down, and that'll rub.
Heavy.
And it'll be a steal of 1. So Alberta continues to fight in that game.
What do you think, bumper?
Nose looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Right there.
That Saskatchewan team, too, Kathy. It was actually Sean Meacham who was the skip to start things off there. It wasn't going that well, so they moved up Adam to the skip position, and then he tried the 4th rock thing for a while, and then eventually it was Sean making the decision, hey, you skip this team, I'll handle the front end, and we'll go from there.
Straight in the beak, eh, Mikey?
Well, that bounce off by Brad Gushue allows a nose hit.
Yeah, I want to just beak it. This will curl a bit. We threw all BJ's hack waders here.
For Mike, and you can see that a nose hit there becomes very difficult for Brad Gushue because a nose hit back will not give him shot.
Just, it's a gradual curl. Okay, bumper.
Whoa. Just bump.
Easy.
Whoa.
Close. Clean. Yep.
Hard.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Close.
Whoa, no, 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 no. Good.
Ah.
Sorry. That's right.
Shoot. I thought it was going to curl a bit more. Sorry.
There.
This wasn't far off.
It's funny, Kathy, the first 5 ends, you could really feel the crowd here at mile 1. And it's just been a lot quieter here since Mike McEwen has slowly taken the momentum, but there they are.
A bit too hard. I didn't think I did, but so it might have looked pretty good on your end.
Yeah.
A little bit of noise there for the skipper, trying to spur him on here to make a nice double.
Can you nose, or you got to be a hair low?
Got to be hair your side. Here.
Final zone here in 7. Brad Gushue facing 3 Manitoba Redstones.
Hard, Jeff! Hard! Really gotta go! Hard!
Big scrub now as it makes its moves. Got to get them both going. Boom, boom. Lovely. And there's that crowd support here at St. John's. They're cheering on a comeback. Welcome back to St. John's and our Brier coverage here on TSN. These guys always in a great battle. Team Canada, Northern Ontario, a lot of history going head-to-head And a final stone here to come from Brad Jacobs, the Olympic gold medalist from Sochi.
Well, that red stone was marginally closer than the yellow, so it is Team Canada lying one right now.
Line's good.
Long time front end for this team, EJ Harnden, Ryan Harnden. Ryan Fry, who lived in St. John's before, in the host calling line. And nice weight there from Brad Jacobs. So a single in the 7th. It is Team Canada leading though 5-4 with hammer. Very early, obviously, all the teams on the right with a loss, all the teams on the left with a opening win, including New Brunswick and Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, Labrador. So a great job thus far for the Eastern teams.
Some very good teams there on the right-hand side, 0-1, a comfortable position for some of them.
Our feature matchup, nice double there from Brad Gushue, Newfoundland, Labrador, and we heard the crowd coming alive here at Mile 1 Center. So it's a 1-point game, but it is Team Manitoba Red Stones now with the hammer, and this one coming from Denny Neufeld. And 2 nice stones there from Denny. The first one you see, top 4. Another one there in the rings in the 8.
Okay.
Top 4.
Yeah, nibble the 4.
Nibble the 4, yeah.
Speed's pretty well the same as it was to start the game either, eh?
Yeah.
Line's good.
Liked it. Try not to kill the line.
Room. Lots of room, guys.
Weight's nice.
Oh, it's way out there right now.
Got a curl a mile.
Top 8.
It's heavy.
That's curl. Jeff's in.
Cheers.
Go ahead, Jeff. Go ahead.
Yeah,
go
come
ahead,
on, come on.
ahead.
You got to get something out of it. Go, 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 go. Hard. Hard, 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 hard.
Boy, that tracked very straight down that outside.
First
You rip, at some point he's going to do this, right?
Yeah, but then it's an easy run back on this one.
Don't mind giving that a go.
Sure.
Okay. Or this. Okay.
I'm okay with that. I think I like this.
I mean, if I make this, it's real good.
I think I like this.
Well, and part of the decision-making involved is it is the 8th end, you're 1 up and you have hammer, and it is those stones in front of the house that are likely to cause you more grief than the one that is currently in the 8-foot.
Good throw.
Oh, far off. Shoot. I think that's a smart play.
Yeah, I agree.
There. Even this is not bad. Looking for back 4, back 8.
It's like a lot of ice, but it should curl, eh?
I would say it's a lot too.
Do you like a hair last? Yeah. Back 8.
Yeah.
Trebek Gallant does not want to remove either of those red stones he's playing against out of play. Anything in the house at this point is an opportunity to get a jam for Manitoba or for Newfoundland and Labrador to be able to use. It is about tapping stones back, manipulating the position of them.
Really got to go hard, hard, hard. Hard not to peel it off. Go, go, go. Spin it in, Mark. Spin it in. Get something out of it. Just real bad throw. Okay.
So is that for now?
I can make it all.
Yeah. Okay. Is where Mike threw
Half, third.
Just a little bit of curl, not a lot. It's a nice spot.
He can get rid of both yellow here by hitting it by a 3rd. It'll come off of his own and squish one yellow one way and one the other.
Clean. Yep. Whoa. Yeah. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Matt Wozniak.
Attaboy.
Boom, boom. What a shot. Yellows go. And Manitoba lies 3 with hammer here in 8.
Good throw, Matt.
Thanks.
Shoot. A little thinner, I think. A little thinner, I think, to get that.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, Kathy, I know it's always easier when you're winning or you're up in a game and things are going well, but man, after talking with Mike in that fifth end break and just his comments about this team and having some fun, enjoying the moment, you really, I mean, we've covered them for a long time. You just notice the difference.
Well, you do, and I think that it's one of those things that somebody can tell you that you need to turn things around, but until you do and you try wholeheartedly to make changes, you don't really see the impact. And then what happened is when they did that, they started to see how much better they were playing. So now they're not being sold a bill of goods. Now they're seeing the impact of that positive energy on the ice.
Gotta go. Okay.
Hey, boys.
Just peeling it's no good. Just go around it.
Yeah. It's tempting.
I don't know. I mean, you could peel it, I guess, too. It's not wrong.
I don't know that the peel would ever get you into trouble.
I don't like
I guess
that.
it gives them this, right?
Yeah, I don't like that. Yeah.
Your shot's good, I think.
You're thinking here?
I like drawing around it or just ripping
Yeah.
it out.
Draw in there.
Get around it.
Okay, Beach.
I just want to draw.
Huh?
But I haven't really thrown a draw. Speed will be good.
14-2 is,
Yeah,
is what you
14-2 is
want.
the number. It's good speed.
Well, I timed a rock in the second end, and it was 14-2. So
Feel
what
heavy,
they're
heavy,
sharing
heavy,
is that in this
heavy.
eighth end, it has not changed at all, which is great news to hear.
Yeah.
Weight's good.
Coming
weight's
down,
good,
coming
weight's
down.
good.
Whoa.
Weight's good.
No line.
Still T-line.
Top 4 only.
No line.
Okay.
Denny's
14-2.
in. Line is not good yet.
Whoa, Denny. Whoa, wait's there. Wait's there. Right on the nose of ours is pretty good.
Yep. Just top it a
Nice
little.
shot.
Okay.
What?
Not bad.
So for now,
Great weight.
That's good.
line 4 here in 8 with Hammer.
Good, Beach.
Great weight. Like that throw.
Yeah, I mean,
Update time over on Sheet D. It's Alberta and Saskatchewan.
Girl's good, though.
Adam
here.
Casey getting set in the hack, and he now knows who Sean Meacham is, thanks to Google, so there it's working out nicely for this team. But full credit, though, to Brendan Botcher, putting some pressure and trying to fight back in this game down by 2.
You're getting hard, really gotta go. Hard, you gotta go. Really hard. Really gotta
And
go.
now it is Sean Meacham, all he's got on the brush. DJ Kidby trying to help him out. Drag it by the red stone, they drag it by, little tap, and well done. That's a nice team shot there from Saskatchewan. And a big single, important to score there for Adam Casey, so he's up by 3 after 8.
Nose. Hair low is not terrible, but
How many can go away here, Kathy, if it's done right?
2 for sure.
Whoa. Whoa, right off.
Mark Nichols, and he gets them moving, and the Yellowstone stays up top. Top 8.
That hit.
yeah, hit.
Ground.
And looks like that one in the weeds there, 12 foot is biting, Kathy.
I would agree with you.
Okay. I just want the shooter to end up in a good spot.
Yeah.
Ha!
This will be pretty gradual.
Off the top of the show, Kathy, we talked about the playoff teams from last year in Ottawa and how they're all back this year. Just a quick refresher. So it was Brad Jacobs. He ran the table 11-0 and ended up winning the bronze medal. Brad Gushue, Newfoundland Labrador, they were 9-2. So they were in that 1-2 game. Kevin Cooey, Alberta, at the time, he was 8-3, and Manitoba was 8-3. So 4 great teams that are back, and
Hanging on the sides, all right.
Team Canada came out of that 3-4 game.
Go, Denny.
Go, Denny. It's really good.
Go, 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 go.
Get it out. Right out,
And
right
it
out, Denny, right out.
is really good as they
Sorry,
get it
I
out to
missed
live
the
4.
Call there.
It's ideal.
Sorry, Beach.
Shot, Beach. It's pretty good.
Ah, shoot.
Roll in the top 2.
Yeah.
Man, well, I think you get the back 2. I don't know if you get this, but no.
It's funny, Kathy, it used to be
Oh, you
such
could've
a
rolled that
big deal. It still is. Don't get me wrong, to have the hammer or your choice of stones in the 1-2 page playoff game, but a lot of teams in the last 5 years have come out of that 3-4 game to win a Brier. You never used to see that. Now it's very common.
Well, strength of field. So many strong teams. You get a little bit of momentum. You get on a little bit of a roll.
A little more.
And speaking of teams who have both done it, Team Canada, Northern Ontario, in a 5-4 game. And final stone here to come from Kevin Cooey, and he's playing the draw. What does he need here, Kathy?
He needs a bite of the 8-foot. It is a force. There is a yellow stone completely buried, and so no chance to get rid of the Northern Ontario stone.
Clean it, please. You look good.
Brent Lang, Ben Hebert, Mark Kennedy in the house. And no problem there. Nice draw weight from the skippers. So 1 on the board, and they lead by 2 after 8. In our feature matchup, the Reds are spinning and moving.
Nice effort.
And the crowd approves there. Trying to limit the damage here in 8.
Came very close on that to making the quad with just a real soft weight.
Good shot.
So there's the first and second. The one on the right almost catches that one if he hit it a little bit thicker.
I think we make the roll perfect, we might get 3 of them.
And very, very close.
And from that angle, you can see that rock is pretty much edge to edge. You can see it all, I think, Kathy.
I would say pretty much all of it.
Little soft.
Yep.
Oh,
yep.
Close.
Mike McEwen, his first here in 8.
Yeah. Weight's good. Wow. Good hack.
Clean. Clean it. Yep. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, no.
That's fine.
Good throw.
On the nose and through, so it is Manitoba lying 3, and both these skips certainly, Kathy, have all the shots. What have we seen so far this morning?
Well, we've seen a bit of a momentum shift. It was Brad Gushue leading the percentage charge after 5, and we've definitely felt the momentum shift towards Manitoba. Part of that is that Mike's numbers are better, making more shots. That's the difference. Look at the draws, though. Neither of these skips would be particularly happy with that. That's the learning the ice in the first 2 days.
Player comparisons are brought to you by Travelers. It's better under the umbrella.
Well, this is potential game, and for Gushue, he's made the decision that he's going to try to utilize that guard and bury, even though Mike will have a short run. There is no double, really, available to him.
Based on the way you won last and ran, I think it's good.
Yeah. Okay. I do think closer to center is going to curl, though, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Good. Just a broom head. Yep. I like that better.
I like that.
Same weight as last in, or a hair less?
A couple feet less.
A couple feet. Yep.
Got the same.
A little soft.
Okay.
Line's good.
Yep.
A little tight.
Hard for line.
Light only.
Hard for line.
Stay down, Jeff.
Line's good.
Weight's pretty good.
Half 4.
Over there. Over curling, if anything.
Good. No,
half
not by
4. Just half 4.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Over curling a bit.
Over-curling.
Whoa. Sit.
What a shot from the skipper under pressure.
That's good, Brad.
Good shot.
How's it going?
Jams on the side, eh?
Really? Off our own?
Checking that out. I mean, you could throw this thin, and then for sure goes.
That's retardedly thin.
Concern looking to see where the yellow will go and if it will jam onto theirs
What are you
at
guys
the
thinking?
back.
Well, it's going over that direction for sure. Hard to know if you come off of this. I mean, if you came off of this, you can do this. Get this to go underneath. Right?
Well, I think if you just...
One's pretty big here. Like I think you just try to thin ticket with peel.
If you do that,
Kathy, what about just drawing for your one?
You can, but they're looking at the option for more points on the board. There's a chance for 2 and 3.
Well, that's there too. Maybe that's a shot.
No. I like the in-off.
that looks hard.
You like it hard? Okay.
I like the in-off.
I like zipping it.
Because I think if you hit
I
like
zipping it. I mean,
Hit
if
it
you
really
hit
thin.
third. I think this goes underneath.
Goes this way or this way. The question is where it goes.
The out turn? Yeah.
But you hit it really thin, you're going to get shot likely, and maybe 2. And that's why they're playing it over the draw.
All right, Mike, here we go.
Final stone here in 8.
Clean. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Hard.
Big shot here for Mike McEwen.
Hard.
He could really grab a handle on this game. Off his red, move the yellow,
Yeah.
through the hole. Shooter sticks around. 3 on the board for Team Manitoba.
That's a great shot. That's an eruption shot in any other building but Newfoundland.
Mike McEwen up by 4. Welcome back to St. John's. And Mike McEwen rolling against the hometown favorites. And in the 8th end, another great shot from the Manitoba skip.
Well, he made a great shot. Also made a great shot, did Brad Gushue. Buried it as much as he could. And so what Mike has is that in-off. You talked about whether he would draw for 1. That would be a guaranteed point. But they were playing for big-time points. Hit it at the perfect angle to get 3. Lovely touch.
So after finishing 4th last year, the Tim Hortons Brier, Mike McEwen and company have reset and some new life and a new spark after that team meeting they had in December. 8-4 advantage after that big 3 in the 8th end over Brad Gushue, Newfoundland Labrador. Since the 2015 Brier, Gushue has allowed 5 3-enders. Incredibly, he's actually won 4 of those games, so maybe some hope and some life here to come at Mile 1 Center.
Switch it up.
Hard mark.
Well, Mike said something to you at the break that I thought was really interesting. You know, they thought that perhaps playing this team in the morning would be the best time to play them. Smaller crowds, not so much the case. And so for Manitoba came out, Mike missed both of his shots in the first end, got a roar of approval for that behavior. And it really takes a lot to just settle down and get back into your own little world. And that is something that every team out here will face when you play this team from Newfoundland and Labrador.
Go, Matt.
Shot.
Be fairly tight with this.
Pretty good.
Last time.
Over on sheet B in the 8th end, Kathy, Jim Cotter actually made a really nice double to blank the end. And once again, obviously hammer here in 9, but down by 2, and he needs a clutch draw to keep his hopes alive against Glenn Howard, Team Ontario.
Well, he is facing 3, but the good news for him is that full 8-foot will do it.
It's not curling yet.
This team has had some great success with John Morris calling the game and Jim Cotter throwing those 4th stones, making it to a Brier final a few years ago and the Olympic trials final in Winnipeg. Johnny Moe calls him one of the best 4th stone throwers he's ever played with, which is pretty high praise, and a nice draw there. So a 1-point game coming home there in 10.
Go then. Line's good. Yep. Keep it moving. Make it thick for him. Keep it going.
Hard.
That's fine. That's good. That's good. Good sweep.
For Newfoundland Labrador, Kathy, they have the afternoon off. They'll take on New Brunswick.
I don't think so, Beach. No, Beach.
Tonight.
Mike Kennedy winning his first last night.
Clean. Whoa.
And Manitoba also back on the ice tonight, taking on the Territories.
Go.
And while this crowd is obviously very pro Newfoundland Labrador, providing a ton of support for all of the teams from Eastern Canada, which is tremendous for all those teams.
Just straight light slash then, hey?
Yep.
Good picking.
Whoa.
Really light. Easy.
Top 12.
No.
Where is it?
No.
Short. Okay, it's got no line, so. No,
Top of the
no,
cup.
no,
Top of the cup.
just leave it. Just leave it. Okay.
Brad Jacobs with a blank in the ninth inning, so they do have Hammer coming home down by 2 to Team Canada. Kevin
Better
Cooley.
even.
All right, BJ.
It's interesting. We heard Mark say picking when he came out of the hack, and I was watching Denny Neufeld throw his first, and he came to a complete stop and then extended. And so maybe that path is wearing down a little bit. Very nice double peel.
Nice one, Beach.
Attaboy, Beach.
Attaboy, good throw.
You said up the top a quieter, calmer BJ Neufeld, but not with the peels, obviously.
Well, no, that's not about weight. It's about attitude.
Breeze is probably better, hey?
Updates continue for you. Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Adam Casey with 1, 2, 3 in the house. My counting's improved, Kathy, over the years.
Yeah.
And one to come still from Brendan Botcher, Milestone Team Alberta.
Usually you have to pull out the pierogies and move them in order.
Calculator, yeah.
Line's a hair tight.
Line's good.
Definitely needs a chunk of the forefoot.
Hard.
Line's good, guys.
Hard line.
Keep it moving.
Hard line. Hard.
Big scrub here to try get it by that yellow stone. They got to get it to the 4, and they won't. And a steal of 3, I believe.
I believe so. It was Mark's last time. I don't know if it's.
Okay, I think that's good.
And that'll be handshakes.
I thought he just tightened it.
So a tough start here for the rookie team out of Alberta. They dropped their second game. Adam Casey and company out of Saskatchewan. 11-5 your final score. Handshakes there.
And they continue to work on the handle on our feature sheet. It is not the device where the lights flash that's the issue. It's the actual handle, the plastic part on top that is shifting. And it's the same stone that Mark had an issue with before. And so they will go and look for maybe a different bolt for the bottom.
Or a chummy,
Effective piece
perhaps?
of granite?
Yes, perhaps.
That could work.
Definitely.
You know, we talked about the people and how welcome we felt from the time we got to the airport. I mean, the volunteers were fighting over you and Cheryl to drive you guys to the hotel, which was awesome. I got to have
a cab.
Well, yeah. I had a beer with our good friend Russ Howard, for example, at a pub, Kathy, and that whole Olympic team was honored at the opening ceremonies, and they marched them out with Jack McDuff and his team, and it was just awesome. We just go to a local pub, and out of nowhere, Kathy, some guy at the bar turns, goes to Russ, and says, "Hey, welcome home."
And I love that.
And
welcome home.
The people here are just, if you've never been to Eastern Canada and St. John's, it is just impressive, the kindness and the excitement that this city has put forth so far to make us feel welcome, even just as the broadcast crew.
Now, feeling that they have now fixed that handle from Mark.
It's almost the same line as what you threw a couple ends ago, hey?
Yep.
Weight's pretty close.
Okay. Rack 8.
Little
Line's
heavy.
a little
No,
tight.
weight's good.
Back 12.
Mark looking to
Hang on
freeze
the
on the only stone in
good.
the house.
Room.
Hard.
Yep.
Just a biter and back, guys. Line's good.
Nope, Stan
Line's
corrected.
great.
He's going
Get back
around
here.
that.
All right, Brett.
Come on, Brett.
Yep. Jeff.
Go. Keep going, Brett.
Hard.
Keep going. Right to my bird.
Hard.
Right here. Go. Good shot, Mark.
Use any stone available, even if you have to bury one with a rock on the tee line.
Good shot.
First one picked in my hand and.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
It's a good bury, but because that stone is on the tee line, it's a relatively short run back for Mike.
Feel it. Similar spot that I threw. It was a while ago, but there's a bit of curl here.
All right, Mikey.
It's funny you talk about a Team Canada and Kevin Cooey, and really one of their last big competitions was the Skins game in Banff.
Yes.
Whereas you look at a team like Manitoba, they had to really battle to get through. You have Reed Carruthers, arguably one of the top teams in the world this year. So they really come into this thing battle-tested, don't they?
You do, and it not only battle-tested for your shot making, but it definitely tested their new attitude of how they stay together when things don't go perfectly smoothly.
Shot.
It's a bad slide, but
look tight.
Good throw, Mike. Yeah. Ooh, that was a bad slide.
Good shot.
Just babied it back to you, though.
Yep. Wait, same as it was 2 ends ago here?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
So I'm assuming Mike would have been happier to not stick it and lose that back red
so.
stone, because now maybe something to
Maybe
freeze
a hair
here.
loss. For sure, any rock and play is something that Brad Gushue can utilize.
I have there.
Yeah, back 8, guys. They're heavy.
Hold in.
Hold in.
Line's good. I like the weight. Whoa, wait,
Whoa,
wait.
wait. Whoa, if you can. Whoa.
That'll work. Line's
Lucky.
good.
Line's not. It
Whoa,
still has
kid.
a curl. Still has
Go
a
ahead.
curl. Jeff's in.
Needs to curl a bit.
Still has a
Don't-
curl.
don't Ready, hit it, Jeff? don't hit it.
Close, Jeff.
Very nice weight.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
And so this is the run again, straight back to pick that yellow stone off sideways.
All right, Mikey. Here we go.
Here, Mike.
Whoa.
Close. Pretty much the same shot here for Mike McEwen.
Nope. It's got a lot of weight, Beach.
Never.
Run it back, kill the yellow, and away it goes.
Good luck, guys. You gave good luck, Mark. Good luck.
And that'll do it. Handshakes.
You gave Mark good luck, eh? You gave good luck.
Okay, Brad, good luck. Good luck.
What a momentum win here for Team Manitoba. Mike McEwen knocking off the hometown favorites here in St. John's 8-4. And the first loss, it's early, but the first loss here for Brad Gushue Company.
Hi, Jenna.
Much more to come right after this.
Hey, Rylan. Hey, Ella.
Welcome back to Mile 1 Center. And we'll move over now to Sheet C. And a timeout was just called by Team Canada, Kevin Cooey. They're coming home here in the 10th end. It is Team Canada leading 6-4. Northern Ontario, Brad Jacobs with hammer throwing the yellow stones. You see Kevin put the broom down in the hack. And Mark Kennedy getting ready to deliver. And there you see the situation. It is, for now, Team Canada lying 2 and trying to make that yellow one go away, I'm assuming here, Kathy.
I think he's trying to play the thin double.
No. Close.
No. No, 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 no.
Pretty close, but can't squeeze that Yellowstone enough.
Yeah, the curl's another 1/4 inch, even less. He catches it thicker and then it redirects thinner. So if it curls a little bit more, that one would have gone out.
I mean, if you're here, Fry, yeah, he makes that, it's game over.
I think you got to freeze the top.
Well, you freeze the top, he's got the double too. It's the same thing. And there's no chance of
We want to be sure of our deuce here if we can.
Do you freeze the top one? He's going to run that.
You have to over curl it if anything. Probably.
Well, 100%.
The freeze is probably the call, so you want to kind of be a little bit on this side.
Well, you just got to freeze and hope he misses this.
What do you mean?
Freeze again.
Well, if you're just 2 inches on this side, you're good.
You're good, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you're
Wait
going
for
for
the
here.
deuce,
Which you're throwing the 2 now?
Yeah.
What turn do you like, Fry?
It's in.
You like the in? Yeah, we know this. I think edge of the 8's close.
Do you think it'll be any quicker out here?
No.
So as Ryan Fry prepares to throw his stone, nice job from Mike McEwen as we bring you the game story from our feature matchup.
Well, some really good numbers for Mike. In the second, it was that quiet double for 2 that really gave him that little bit of an advantage. A steal and 6 helped, but it was that big 3-ender in 8 that really made the difference. His numbers trailed Gushue after the first 5, but really came on strong in the second half.
The game story is brought to you by Tim Hortons, official coffee of Curling Canada. So after that discussion, it's Ryan Fry, his last stone here in 10 for Northern Ontario, trying to play a perfect freeze here, find a way to generate their 2 points.
Wait's great. Stay with it. Yep. Room. Yep. Room. Yep. Room. Ryan. Oh, finish more.
No, I picked, Brad.
Sit.
That was perfect, too.
Just picked?
Yeah.
No? What do you mean? What does he do if you miss it?
Kind
Probably draws one to the wings.
Where, though?
Peel that side
one. Yeah.
You think it's there?
It's thin. Is that too thin, boys?
That's not there. Most of the times you just jam it.
You'll never make that.
You
You got to
make
make
it
it
off
off
the
back end of the 2. So do you nose this one then?
Nope. I like playing this one.
You just peel it?
Just roll in, maybe.
Yeah, that's not, or even just unlock it. If you hit into here.
No.
Why not?
Because that's not very good. He can't use that very well. He can't hit it very easily to not make us a double.
We don't make it. He just draws over here back.
Yeah,
ball.
that's
That's why the hit and roll in might be the right call.
Or try the double, and if you unlock it.
I like just rolling in front of it.
Okay.
Okay with that.
Well, roll in front of it. 8 foot's pretty good. I mean, if you roll in front of it, you won't let him draw to the wing, right? Yeah.
Yeah. You remember when we overswept that one?
Yeah, I remember your normal.
I like that same way.
Okay, let's just. You got. Where do we want to roll?
Right in front of the yellow.
Right in front.
If he's playing this, then I mean, all I want is some kind of double, right?
Okay. If we can overroll just a little, I think it's really good.
Yeah, you're better to get something over here than nosing it, right?
So you're going to throw that same way?
It's like positive control,
okay,
didn't you think?
I think you need.
We swept it quite a bit.
This is probably good.
I agree with Brent Lang. I don't think there's any value in playing that double.
Bounce into that.
That yellow almost certainly drives it onto the red and helps create a shot for your opponent.
Way to throw normal?
So this should get rid of that stone that could be the 3rd point, the winning point, and you roll towards the middle. And you heard Kevin say why. You group those stones, hoping that Brad will group them back, so he'll have a double to end the game on his final.
Solid control.
Whoa, skip stones here in 10.
No. Close.
No, never.
Yep. Close. Yep.
Go.
Hard. Whoa. Whoa. Roll as far as you can.
Roll.
There's the hit. Roll it over.
No.
Yes, keep sweeping it. Good shot.
Shot, Kev. It's good, Kev.
It's actually not bad.
It's pretty good.
Shot, Kev.
Because he can't
I
roll.
just didn't want to roll another rock or half a rock where he gets to hit and roll and spread the rings.
But it was bad if he could hit and roll back.
Good shot.
Shot, Kev. Oh no, he has to make the double.
Go back there, he picks it, we hit for 2.
That?
You go back there,
Yeah.
he picks that, we hit for 2.
Yeah. I don't see anywhere else. I don't see a 3.
I don't like playing, you can't roll to here.
The only thing I was thinking, tell me if I'm crazy or not.
But then he guards, right?
He'd have to be a perfect guard or there might be a 3, but.
Or what if we dead freeze this?
I think he rolled just enough, so we can't freeze.
If we dead freeze this, he hammers it, we get 2.
Time out. Time out.
Caleb Flaxey will come out for Team Northern Ontario.
No, I think he makes that all day long.
What do you mean?
The double, everything goes.
Well, yeah, but you could feather ours over a hair. I mean, that's getting.
What do you like here, Caleb?
still trying to see if there's a 3. Like the only way that I see 3 is if you were to take a gamble and try to freeze one here, but then he's probably just going to
He's going to hammer it on the nose.
Yeah, we're going to go to another end. Yeah.
He's going to pick the 2.
And then we get our 2 if we make a good one to here.
Well, it's only you almost got to be careful that you don't take away our only shot for 2. If you over curl us a hair, we're done.
Well, he's going to touch this. Probably. I can't see him not.
He may or may not.
What? So you're saying we're going for here, biting back 4, right? Yeah, try to beat out the top one. Even if we're here, even if we show him half,
you just can't
then
over curl it.
he's gonna. Yeah, exactly. Because if he picks that clean and our yellow's in the way, is that what we're talking about?
You can't get to the nose of ours?
Yeah, I think that's almost
That's
saying.
probably just, if you miss that, it's game over.
Yeah, I still like, this is our only shot at 3. Is that? I personally like this.
I do too, guys. I think that's probably the call. I think we just got to make it.
You want to throw your 3 or?
Yeah.
Maybe something will hang on. Who knows?
Might
right?
pick and overbury.
Okay, you got to there. I thought you
Let's
3 years
hope.
about. He's 3 years about there.
Mine picked. I think you need there.
No, not with this rock, Fry. I like the same ice. Give me middle.
Right next door, Sheet B, live look, BC, Ontario. It is Glenn Howard leading by 1. Jim Cotter has that stone in the 4-foot, but it's wide open, and 1 to come here from Glenn Howard.
Well, BC took a timeout and elected to play the hit to lie 3, and Jim Cotter flashed on his final stone, and so not a lot of pressure here on Ontario.
So after a tough extra end loss last night for Glenn Howard against Nova Scotia, the veteran's on the board in his 17th Brier appearance. 6-3 final for Team Ontario. Glenn Howard.
Thanks, Johnny.
In our feature matchup now. Final stone, first stone here for Northern Ontario, Brad Jacobs. What did they decide to do here, Kathy?
I think they're playing the freeze onto their own stone. Trying to still generate 3.
Let it go! Let it go! Let it go! Freeze it! Hard guys, cold loading! Well,
Boys, pick it clean.
You pick it clean, you win the game.
It's pretty hard for him to make this and stick. That's for 2?
Oh, that's for 3, isn't it?
Right now it is,
Right now we can make it, yeah.
What are you seeing?
Pick the yellow one.
Pick the yellow
Yes.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you see? You got a minute and a half to see something good. Or you guard.
Thanks for the time update, Brent.
You
I think I like the pick. I like the pick.
Okay.
And the pick is a tough shot, but it
guard it, guys. He
really
still has this, the back liner for 2.
It takes away anything silly. You okay with it?
takes away the 3. There is some space.
Pick it. I don't. Yeah, that's. You think he can hit?
That'll be a pretty tough double for Brad Jacobs to get those 2 reds out if he's able to pick it clean.
Gotta hit a quarter.
How about some deja vu, Kathy? Remember last year, the semifinal, the pick shot, then the measurement, and Kennedy's reaction when they knew they won the game? Kind of a similar.
I think we picked this. That's definitely for 3. Maybe.
Throw a good one here.
40 seconds. You got lots of time.
Skinny third.
Pick her out of there.
Lots of time, too.
Make this Yellowstone go away.
Hard. Never stop.
Hard, Benny.
Never stop.
Benny Hebert, all he's got now in this red stone. Bang the yellow. Keep the shooter around. What a shot.
He is so good with those up-weight shots.
And how do you manufacture 2 now for Northern Ontario? I don't think you do. It's handshakes.
Good luck, Brian.
Nice job from Ben Hebert to hold the line. A good throw from Kevin Cooey. And another close game between these 2 teams. They always play each other so tough. But another solid win for Team Canada. The defending champs knocking off Quebec last night, now 2-0 for Kevin Cooey and company out of Calgary. 6-4, your final score on the Sunday morning here at the Tim Hortons Brier at St. John's.
The 2017 Tim Hortons Brier is brought to you by Tim Hortons, official coffee of Curling Canada. The 2017 Tim Hortons Brier is brought to you by Home Hardware, homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice. By Sponge Towels Paper Towel, nothing absorbs like it. And by World Financial Group, helping Canadians have better financial futures.
It was a rematch of last year's Brier semifinal, and Kevin Cooey and company all smiles after that one. Chatting things over with Mark Kennedy. There you see there. Fifth, Scott Pfeiffer there as well. Your updated standings now. And two of the favorites off to great starts. Manitoba 2-0. Team Canada also 2-0. Nova Scotia, New Brunswick also still undefeated. And you see on the right-hand side a few teams still looking for win number one. It is still early this year at St. John's at the Tim Hortons Brier. Just a reminder, this afternoon, 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time on TSN 1, 3, and 5. It is Jamie Cooey of the Territories taking on Adam Casey, who picked up his first win this morning as well. It is great to be in St. John's for the Brier. The fans have been fantastic, and what a show so far. It's the Mile 1 Center, the first mile of the Trans-Canada Highway here in our great country. And all the coverage continues this afternoon, 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. On behalf of myself, Kathy Gauthier, thanks for watching. We'll see you this afternoon right here on TSN.